Hello, chat. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Metal Kitty Mom. Hello, Salmon Moose. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Spitfire. Hello, DH Express. Hello, I'm Idaho. Hello, 10-letter name. Hello, Lotta Apples. Hello, Punky Gal. Hello, Erica. Hello, Franz. Hello, the Mana King. Ooh, back crack. How we doing, folks? It's stream time, baby. Oh my goodness, we're seeing some white names in chat. Oh, hello, Paladin. How you doing? Just waiting for the rice to finish. I made a nice pork tenderloin today. Thanks, DH Express. I put product in it. Unlike most days, this was deliberate attempts at having good hair. Vox and Socks, hello! Hello, hello, hello. Here, let's bring up the YouTube chat. The last thing I always forget to bring up. Hey, Mabel Landry. Over in YouTube chat. I think the first ever shout out we've had to a YouTuber in chat. Making fajitas tonight? Nice. Ooh, onion gravy. Hello, Sentient Waffle. Got a job interview on Friday? Hell yeah. Metal Kitty Mom. Hey, Carl Marky Marks. You're in both chats? Ooh, you're polychatterous. Good luck on your job interview, 10-letter name. What kind of job is it for? You don't have to tell us specifics. Yeah, I made a pork tenderloin and some, like, mashed potatoes. From scratch. But I ate them like 5 hours ago, so I'm getting hungry again. Stream always lags behind at the beginning. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I blame Jeff Bezos as well. Hey, Catalina Gearbox. An unpaid position? DH Express, at this time I am very much looking for paid positions. Sorry. How we doing, folks? How am I? I'm doing well. I had a nice Pride weekend with my partner. And, like, just had a really good time. Got to dress up and look pretty. I didn't post a lot of pictures from this year's Pride, but I guarantee you that I did. And I did go out. I got caught in the rain. It was very romance. Bartending at a hotel. Ooh, a trans friends recommended I apply there. There's 4 other trans people who work there. Hell yeah. Hey, Bisadu. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Zooted and struggling to start the Keffels v Yankee Tanky debate because of how violent the cringe is. I don't know if I want to watch that debate, to be 100% honest with you guys. Like, I feel like it's going to be soul-sucking, you know? Had to skip Pride festivities because you're sick? Oh no, I'm sorry. Hope you get over that soon. Ice cream manufacturers, you've given us mint mousse tracks. Now give us mint chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, please. True, fat guy named Tiny. Hey, Miss Hire. Keffels was so strong through that shit. Yeah, Yankee Tanky. I don't know, guys. I feel like engaging with the Yankee Tanky just in and of itself is ableist. Dude's brain is soup. All that's in there is like barely like half the normal ability to string together words, and then just like slurs. Like that's it. It's just soup brain. Went to a queer event on Sunday. It was my first time, and it was full of lovely people. Yeah, they generally are, you know? Let's see here. Hey, Robert Adset. Man, we have chat. I know we just started stream. We have a lot of white names in chat today. If any of you kind people out there would like to fix, I would appreciate it, and I'm sure they would too. All right, folks. I have 0 spoons to deal with that today. Like, I've been barely enough spoons today to exist at the moment. Yeah, understandable. We will be eventually getting to, like, transphobia and stuff, because, frankly, as a trans person with any type of platform, like, you're, like, expected to, and, like, if I don't say anything, people think I'm, like, complicit with transphobia or some shit. It's stupid as hell. I'm no help on that front this week. You paid your rent early this month? Ooh, look at you getting ahead. Hell yeah. And that's okay, fat guy named Tiny. I don't want anyone to put themselves out, okay? All right. Folks. Wondering what the fuck troon means? That's a new one for me. Yeah, it's just a different way of saying tranny. Okay? Like that's it's just like the not censored, like it won't get caught in like it's the 4chan way of getting around like having those words blocked. Was that Keffel's debate from today? No, it was from like last week. Anyway,
What's up?
we're gonna do some silliness before we get into the show today, because I don't know, TikTokers are fun.
What's up? I just got the new Grimace shake from McDonald's. Happy birthday, Grimace. I'm gonna try the Grimace shake. Got the Grimace shake. Let's try it out. That's pretty good.
Oh god.
Just got the new Grimace shake. We're gonna give it a try.
Happy birthday, Grimace. This one's for you.
All right, guys, today we're gonna be trying the new Grimace milkshake. Let's get it.
You're not a burden, Indreen. Never a
Hey
burden.
guys, we're trying out the Grimace shake today. I just want to say happy birthday, Grimace, and let's give this a shot. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that they all wish Grimace a happy birthday.
Back from McDonald's. We're celebrating Grimace.
No! No!
You don't get it? Okay, well, clearly there's a serial killer who's going through the hashtag, escalating their crimes with every Grimace shake drunk.
First time trying a new Grimace shake. Happy birthday, Grimace.
Hey guys, today we're gonna try the new Grimace shake.
Grimace is coming for them.
I'm gonna try the Grimace shake from McDonald's.
Jesus.
Happy birthday, Grimace.
What's up, guys? You know, about to try the new Grimace shake. Here we go. Just got the Grimace shake, man. Stoked, dude. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Don't you think that saying I'm a white typical is a racist statement? Messed up Fairy, without knowing more of the context, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Also, this trend, like, I don't know why, I really like horror movie stuff, and like, this is real good, okay? There's some real good shit in here in terms of how disturbing this is, right? Like, oh god, yeah, here's another one. This one's also good. I think I got a couple of my favorites in here. Yeah. Do 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 do.
I just got the new Grimace shake. Happy birthday.
Is it just a purple milkshake? Yeah. Aw, Clarice, hello.
I just got the new Grimace shake. Happy.
Hello, love of my life. I know, it's one of your favorite shirts on me. Thanks, Joey the Bastard. Your chat's kinda cute too? True, my chat do be looking kinda cute. But not as cute as Clarice Marie, the love of my life. Good evening, Malachi. I said you're a good bean earlier, or a good gem. And yeah, it's just a purple milkshake, chat. Or is it? Or is it?
Just got the new drink from McDonald's. Happy birthday, Grimace.
Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. God, the extent and the amount of effort there. It's not grape or nothing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. This is a cautionary tale to all of you to not have the Grimace milkshake. Clearly, I don't know what other lesson you're taking from this. You all of you just saw like 20 youngsters drinking a Grimace milkshake and then dying? Maybe? And you're like, I wonder what it tastes like. It tastes like death, clearly. Okay, but here's the best one.
Hey guys, today we're trying a new Grimace drink from McDonald's. First sip, here we go.
Jesus. Yeah, it's grim ass flavored. True. I need that milkshake. I have to know. We'll go get the milkshake, Clarice. Is this stealth marketing? I don't think it's marketing. I think it's just young people being funny. You know, being little goofy goobers. They're being little goblins on social media. That was great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. McDonald's would never approve of this. I don't know. Grimace is their sexiest mascot. He's the only one into kink, unironically. It's true. It's true. If each streamer's overlapping communities have specific names, can we call Demon Mama's imps plus this chat imps from the river Styx? Is that too long? I mean, Bisadu, you do you, you know? If you want to make that a thing, let's make it a thing. The funny thing is, this is actually working for me. I saw these this morning and thought going to McDonald's for the first time in years just to get the death shake, right? We saw horrible things happen to a bunch of teens. And now we all want the product that they were drinking. Paul Stazko. Bad news in terms of human mascot compatibility. Oh no. Love the blue shirt. It's pretty green. Like, it's pretty aggressively green. It does kind of look blue on my screen, but it's quite green, I assure you. I might make 3D art of a riverboat driving down the river Styx next to Karen. Do it, Bisa do. Have you ever tried the blueberry lavender cappuccino from Quick Trip? No. They have a lavender flavored cappuccino at fucking Quick Trip? I've heard good things about their mozzarella sticks. I haven't heard anything about their cappuccinos. Someone is going to make this a SCP that the victims make more of the shake. Yeah, true. People always do be saying the colors wrong. All right. Bad news, everybody. We now know who is replacing Tucker Carlson. And it is indeed Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters is going to be the new Tucker Carlson. There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, Lillian, we covered it in our Donald Trump coverage a week or so ago. Yeah, we read the transcript of the audio recording. Oh, wait. That CNN obtained the actual audio recording? Wait. I'll drop everything and cover that. Sorry, I misread your, Yo, 1 hour ago. Is it?
Have obtained what is expected to be a central piece of the government's case against Donald Trump. The actual audio recording of the former president talking as if he's showing a highly classified document on U.S. war plans against Iran with people not cleared to even know it exists, let alone what's in it. In a moment, only on CNN, you will hear what jurors will hear one day.
Let's
go.
The
recording was made 2 summers ago, July 2021, at the former president's club in Bedminster, New Jersey.
I can't believe they actually fucking got this. This is wild.
You will clearly hear the former president as he is speaking to several people. According to the special counsel's indictment, they include a writer working on Mark Meadows' memoir, the publisher, and 2 of Trump's staff members. The president was aware he was being recorded. This is the first time it is being played publicly.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, you know, against you.
Well, it started right at the
beginning.
beginning.
When Millie's talking about, oh, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in. That's right. Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him.
Oh, God, isn't this amazing? I have a big pile of papers that just happens to have highly classified intelligence that no one in this room is authorized to see, including me.
They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute, let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Mm-hmm. Except it is like
the most ironic thing he possibly could have said in this recording. Oh my fucking God. This totally wins my case, you know. Oh, it certainly does, Mr. Former President.
Highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. But look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would
he
print
even
that out
says it, dude.
She'd send it, no, she'd send it to Anthony Weiner, the pervert. By the way, isn't that incredible? Though?
Yeah.
I was just saying, because we were talking about it. And, you know, he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the
You did.
papers.
It's pretty
This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out
it. See, as president, I could have declassified
Yeah.
it. Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now we have a problem. Oh, God. Dude. He's so boned. He's so boned.
So cool.
He's been trying to, like, spin this as, you know, like, oh, I did declassify it, but, you know, if it was classified now I wouldn't have been able to do that. He's been trying to spin it like that, but, like, you can tell in the context of this conversation, absolutely that's not the case.
I mean, it's so, here and I have, and you probably.
Well, she sounds uncomfortable because she's keenly aware of the fact that he just showed information that could get all of them fucked in court, you know? It's so Jover. It's so over. Lillian in YouTube chat, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I didn't see this while prepping the show. It's the perfect tape, folks.
Almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
it's
you.
incredible, right?
No,
Hey, bring some Cokes in, please.
Dude.
Monty, this decision means a new black majority majority black.
Oh my God, CNN's website sucks ass. Dude. Get me a Coke, yeah. I don't know, I can't help. There's no way for him to slime out of this Spitfire. This is too big of a deal for, like, the U.S. government or, like, federal judges to generally let slide, you know? Can you imagine if Hillary or Obama got caught like this? If Hillary or Obama got caught like this, Republicans would be screaming for the death penalty, you know? Hi. What are you coming up here for? Huh? Do you just want attention? Hi. You just coming over here? Is it because you heard a dog barking? Heard a dog barking from another apartment? Not really sure what's going on? Yeah. You've been really cuddly today. Think he wants you to stretch? There we go. Aw, she's a lady. How's her mouth? Her mouth's doing so much better. Probably just me thinking now we don't deserve a W like this. I mean, like, literally at every step. I think our system is set up, you know, to basically give people like Donald Trump a free pass when they, like, commit crimes. And, essentially, there's no way. Like, every time they have tried to, like, give him a little bit of leeway or wiggle room, like, he's told them to fuck off, right? Like, he had, like, a year and a half to turn over those documents, and he didn't do it. Not only did he not do it, he, like, he was offered so many different opportunities here. And, like, basically just said, nah, send me to prison, please. You know? Now he's gonna freak the fuck out when it becomes like an actual reality for him. Honestly, I'm concerned if he gets convicted and put in a prison. I'm concerned over what his followers will do. You know, they'll see it like as a coup by the deep state, you know? It's gonna be rough. I still think he'll do a runner. Is that even possible with him surrounded by Secret Service? I don't know that they would allow that to happen, right? Also, Wait a minute. Wait a minute. God damn, today's the funniest news day, chat. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. Okay. So. Oh, salmon moose.
We hate the whites here.
Oh, god damn it, god damn it. God damn it. Please no. Please, use a bit more clarity in your language. The white names. Because baseline unsub chatters have white names. No! Salmon Moose, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Oh, nah, man. Look, guys. Any time in our nation's history where nuclear state secrets and, like, war plans were stolen, we've, like, executed people for doing that. Like, literally within your parents' lifetimes, we have executed people. I gotta say, I think he will go to prison for life. I don't think he's getting off with a fine and house arrest. I don't think he's gonna be, in house arrest if he gets convicted of this. I will say, chat, so a couple of things. Now, Andrew Tate is a bad man, right? He's a bad guy. He's probably a rapist, allegedly a rapist, according to several different women, and he has allegedly done a lot of sex trafficking, all right? Please do not take this as an endorsement of Andrew Tate in any way, shape, or form, but the amount of consternation that Andrew Tate has just now sown throughout the manosphere cannot be understated, okay? So back in June, there's a video of Andrew Tate came out, or back in, March. Back in March, a video came out of Andrew Tate basically saying, yeah, look, if you're straight, you can fuck trans ladies, okay? We actually have this video, so here we go.
Building my mansion. You'll see when it's done, we'll do an episode of Cribs. I had to get this area here. I bought my neighbor's house. I had to construct a specific area for the Bugatti. Anyway, that's all gonna be lit up and shit, Bugatti logos.
This is from a couple years ago.
Listen, I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, because they think they're gonna be gay if they do anything else, but they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a dick. That's the tranny. Or Hulk Hogan with a pussy.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That's the girl. This is the question I'm asking. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan? So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're gonna fuck Hulk Hogan? Okay, there's a pussy, but he's got mustache and muscles and shit. He's all...
This is the man, by the way, that the manosphere holds up as like the fucking Aristotle of their movement.
Hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me.
This is in support of white genocide.
No!
Down with the white names.
God damn it, Bisadu! But thank you for the 2 tier 2 subs. My goodness. Thank you so goddamn much. Hey, and you got Cross Crescent Creed in there. And Archangel Decab. Two of the best homies in chat. Alright, but like, dude's just like, this is like the fucking Aristotelian argument of their movement. And it comes down to Megan Fox with a dick or Hulk Hogan with a vagina.
That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's a pussy. That is gay. Whereas Megan Fox, okay, he's got a dick, but maybe you can, like, scoot it out the way. I mean, still Megan Fox. You know what I'm saying? At least she's small and shit. You can get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world we now live in. What is straight? What is gay? It's all a big sliding spectrum, isn't it? Because if you're going to sit here and go, oh, no, it's gay to bang Megan Fox with a dick, I counter that argument. It's gay to bang Hulk Hogan with a pussy. So which one is it?
This is such a bizarre mindfuck, okay? This is such a bizarre mindfuck. And look, Andrew Tate is a horrible, horrible, horrible person in literally every aspect of his life. Like, literally in this argument, he was, like, throwing around slurs for, like, trans people, okay? That being said, I do take a lot of pleasure in knowing that this caused so much mental anguish within the manosphere that they promptly just collectively chose to try and forget it. But we have an update on this story, chat. We have an update on this story. Andrew Tate has now called Aiden Ross a bigot for tweeting there are only 2 genders. Which, let them fight. By all means, let them fight. Aiden Ross is like a neo-Nazi motherfucker, and Andrew Tate is a rapist, and, you know, allegedly a rapist and allegedly a sex trafficker, okay? But
switches on me because I'm saying these tweets. There's 2 genders and, you know, all these things, and now everyone's calling me an enemy and all these crazy things. I don't have anyone to talk to, bro. Who's my role model? Who the fuck am I to, who can I look up to, bro? I have no one.
Did you just say there's 2 genders?
Yeah.
You're a fucking bigot. That is disgusting. Where did you get that idea? Where would you come up with the crazy idea that there's only 2 genders? Where did that even get into your brain? Dude, you should know better. It's people like you constantly spreading hate and bigotry with your false science that are damaging to the lives of so many innocent young children out there in the world today. I want you to know that I'm extremely disgusted with you. It was bad enough you didn't write to me. And then when I was in fucking jail, you're spreading bigotry.
Okay, so how many genders are there, bro?
It's a spectrum.
What?
Dude! What? Look, I know that Andrew Tate is being sarcastic here, but Aiden Ross is not catching on to it. I don't think Aiden Ross is smart enough to know that Andrew Tate is, like, bullshitting him right now. But, you know what? On the off chance that Andrew Tate isn't bullshitting, because Andrew Tate literally thinks that it would be gay to fuck a trans man if you're a man, and straight to fuck a trans lady if you're a man who is, straight. I don't know, man. Putting these 2 videos together.
What?
It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Ask your friends. Who are all your friends? Fucking all those weirdos.
Nobody anymore. I'm nobody anymore.
All these weirdos with the long hair. They're all fucking nerds and they're all psychos and strange and take drugs and shit. All these fucking weirdos. Talk to them.
I don't like them. I don't like them.
It's a spectrum. Dummy. What, you blind? Are you blind? Can't you see? It's a spectrum. You think you just walk through life and see men and women? It's a fucking spectrum.
I genuinely don't know if he's joking. I think he is. I think he's jokingly being a trans ally here. Or saying that he's, like, he believes that gender is a spectrum. But, like, Aiden Ross looks fucking broken, dude. Aiden Ross is broken. Dude. Oh, fuck, dude. Honestly, though, like, just looking at look at this, look at the Twitter reaction to this, right? Tate switch teams, change team. Almost 400k live viewers from Aiden and Andrew's streams combined. W. Oh, look, the reverse. Andrew Tate cloned, bro. What the fuck? Is Tate cloned? They literally are trying to make sense of this by thinking that Andrew Tate is cloned. They like cloned leftist Andrew Tate somehow, I guess. Yeah, the Matrix got him. I thought Andrew Tate was in jail. No. He just got charged with the crimes. I believe he's on house arrest. God. Okay, some of these people did catch the irony, all right? Dude, what the hell? Okay, I can't. I shouldn't free scroll through Twitter. All right, especially not on that thread. I learned my lesson. The fucking weird ass fan art, dude. I can't. Somebody literally drew Andrew Tate with Astolfo in prison. Jesus Christ, dude. Miss Hire, I can't see your links over on Twitch chat. If you want to come over to riverboat.gg, I can see your links. Astolfo plus Tate is haram. True, because Astolfo is a boy. Astolfo isn't even a trans woman. Also, isn't Astolfo like 12? Okay, I guess Astolfo is 21 years old, maybe. That's the best guess. Jesus Christ. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. You can't make me. Tim Pool is mad at Emma. Yep, we're gonna be. Look, we got so much to cover today. Also, chat, we haven't even gotten dudes to like the actual meat of today's episode. All right, how we doing? Hell yeah, we doing good. Also, Jay Xander, sorry for Nightbot clapping you. Okay, you're Gucci. All right, you're Gucci over in YouTube chat. Okay, as I was saying like 30 minutes ago now, we now know who is going to be taking Tucker Carlson's time slot. And I got bad news for you folks. It is one of the most insufferable people at Fox News. And his name is Jesse Waters. Now, for those of you who don't remember Jesse Waters, let's just give you guys yeah, here's just a blast from the past about Jesse Waters here. Back in 2016, he was running the street beat for Fox News. So he was out there, he was out on the town, asking people the hard-hitting questions. Okay? Does the prime time slot matter at Fox? Oh yeah, it matters so much. Like the prime time slot is so much more power and money for the person doing it, and also like it's the money maker for Fox, you know? So yes, in 2016, Jesse Waters went down to Chinatown, and you can guess pretty much exactly, if you were to stereotype how you think a very conservative reporter going to Chinatown would go, I think you know exactly what's about to happen.
Back in the book segment tonight, Waters' World. In the first presidential debate, China was mentioned 12 times, mostly in a negative way, especially by Donald Trump. So we sent Waters down to New York's Chinatown to sample political opinion.
This might also be one of the most racist television segments of all time. Like, for real talk.
Am I supposed to bow to say hello?
你好，你好。
I like these watches. Are they hot?
JC Penney 398.
Do you like Donald Trump?
Yes, Hillary Clinton. Basically, it's the extension of Obama.
Who are you going to vote for?
Clinton wife.
Clinton's wife has a name. What is it?
Oh man, I forget it. Snap out of it.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
I don't like it. He has a big mouth.
He can say what he wants. It doesn't really affect me. And I don't think he's going to win, so.
Trump has been beating up on China. How does that make you feel?
Speak! Why don't you speak?
Donald Trump.
Leave them the
beating
fuck
up on
alone. They're like
China at
100
the
years
debate.
old.
Is it the year of the dragon? Rabbit? Who are you going to vote for?
I really don't want to vote for Trump, so Hillary.
So China can keep ripping us off.
I guess.
I believe these are not fan edits, chat. This is Fox News running this. I believe.
Yes.
Now Trump wants to build
Like you can see the Chiron is put over the clips, you know? Also, Urban Barbarian, thank you for subscribing over on Twitch. I appreciate it.
wall to keep the Mexicans out.
Mm-hmm.
Square that circle.
I like Donald Trump. Before I was a gambler.
Jackpot. Is everything made in China now?
Not everything.
Tell me what's not made in China.
I can't think of it right now.
Me neither.
I'm explaining to you because you look nervous.
Is China America's friend or enemy?
China, America? Of course are friends.
Can you guys
fucking,
take care of
the fucking music behind this. Like, he can't just talk to them as people, you know?
Korea for us?
Wow, that is too much.
Yikes. I guess frenemies?
Frenemies? Do they call Chinese food in China just food? Do you have any...
I hate him. I hate him so much, chat. It's like watching that Crowder segment. Neuron, Jesse Waters was basically doing a Steven Crowder bit here. Yeah, that's kind of what he was doing at the time, like, for Fox News.
Traditional Chinese
Yep,
herbs?
this guy's taking over for Tucker Carlson, folks.
Or performance?
I'm not gonna ask my parents about that.
I meant on television.
Oh, okay.
Was there a seed in that?
Sweep the leg.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know karate?
Yeah, I know.
Hit my hand. That's nothing.
Ouch.
Okay, one.
If only that man had hit him harder. If only.
Do you guys like to party?
Yeah, tonight we go to party.
It's so long, chat. There's still almost 2 minutes left. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh, that's the spot.
Oh God, I'm gonna get sick.
Oh God.
How do they dance in China?
I'm sick.
Can you play This Little Piggy Went to Market?
I mean, Karl Marky Marks, that's true. But I think Jesse Waters is hollow, you know? He's empty on the inside, and all he cares about is power and profit. And I think that give him a few years in that slot, and he'll be just as fashy as Tucker Carlson was.
How do I say in Chinese, "This is my world"?
Please move on from his feet. Oh, I'm sorry, Bay Cop. Also, Bay Cop, where you been?
Say it right. Either don't say it. Nigo.
Nico.
It's not Japanese, Chinese. You gotta do it properly.
Okay, teach me.
Otherwise, forget it.
Nigor Hai.
Go.
Go.
Get Sai Guy.
Kesai Guy.
That's it.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
That last guy hated you.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
One of many.
But when you go down
Jesus,
to Chinatown,
dude.
it seems like everybody's aware of what's going on. Some people say it's very insulated and they don't interact with American politics, but it looked like everybody knew what was going on.
You thought people knew what was going on?
Most of the people answered your questions in a direct way. A few people, the old lady, I don't think she knew.
No, she didn't. They're such a polite people.
They
won't
are.
walk away or tell me to get out of here. They just sit there and
they're
say
patient.
nothing.
They're patient. They want you to walk away because they don't have anything else to do.
Right, but I get paid to not walk away, so they had no idea.
But you weren't. It's gentle fun, so I
Yes.
know we're going to get letters. It's inevitable, but it was gentle.
Gentle
It was all in
fun.
good fun.
But most of the people that you spoke with, particularly the younger people, they knew what was going on.
They did. I think it was probably 60-40 pro-Hillary, anti-Trump.
You know, that surprised me. I didn't know Trump was going to do that well.
Yeah.
Jesse Waters, everyone.
Dude. Also, chat, I know that what you just saw was terrible. Obviously, there's so many more segments of Jesse Waters being terrible, but I'm going to pick the other one that really stands out in my mind when I think about Jesse Waters, right? And I gotta say, I don't think that Jesse Waters is currently as politically motivated as Tucker Carlson, like I said. But I do think that he gives off very rapey vibes. He looks like he has some sexual assaults under his belt. And the reason I say this, right, is because here's another clip of Jesse Waters. This one's much shorter. This one's much shorter, okay? See if you can identify why I think he gives off very rapey vibes.
When I was trying to get Emma to date me, first thing I did, let the air out of her tires. She couldn't go anywhere. She needed a lift. I said, hey, you need a lift? She copped right in the car.
Does she know this story?
No, she doesn't know the story.
Does she watch the show?
The
Jesse Jr. does. You're basically the Zodiac killer.
It has a happy ending.
Really?
Yes,
we're married. Did you really do that?
Is that the first time you did it, or did you use that before?
It works like a charm.
Oh, okay. Kathy Lee Gifford joins us now.
So, yeah, just saying, not only did he do that to score a date with the woman who then became his wife, apparently, yeah, he literally cornered her and forced her into a date. He implies in that he has done that multiple times in the past. You know, like, yeah, exactly, Urban Barbarian. Like, Janine Pirro, who's also awful in innumerable ways, is just like, have you done that multiple times? Works like a charm. Oh, God. Okay, moving on. Bye. Yeah, guys who need to do that, I know I've played this before, right? This is like one of the most famous scenes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you know?
Yo. Hey, buddy. I got some turpentine, some wax, and some high-gloss boat paint. This shit is really expensive.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're telling me. I
Jesse
picked this up
Waters.
some slacks and...
Jesse Waters is just unironically being Dennis at maximum rapey, but like all the time.
Docksiders, so we could have the right look, you know, and fit in and everything. We're running pretty low on remaining dick towel money, though.
Plus, we gotta fill that thing up with gas.
I know, man. We gotta pop by the department store, pick up the mattress. And I want to get a nice one too. You know what I'm saying?
The what? The mattress? What do we need a mattress for?
What do you mean? What do we need a mattress for? Why in the hell do you think we just spent all that money on a boat? The whole purpose of buying the boat in the first place was to get the ladies nice and tipsy topside, so we can take them to a nice, comfortable place below deck, and you know they can't refuse because of the implication.
Okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Well, dude, think about it. She's out in the middle of nowhere.
This is literally Jesse Waters' thinking. Like, she's trapped here at work in the middle of nowhere, and
With some dude she barely knows. She looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I gonna do? Say no?
Okay, that that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Now, you've said that word implication a couple of times. What implication?
The implication that things might go wrong for her if she refuses to sleep with me. Now, not that things are gonna go wrong for her, but she's thinking that they will.
But it sounds like she doesn't want to have sex
Why aren't you
with
understanding this?
I don't...
She doesn't know whether she wants to have sex with me. It's that
She doesn't
that's not
know?
the issue.
Are you gonna hurt women?
I'm not gonna hurt these women.
Okay.
Why would I ever hurt these women?
I
I feel like you're not getting this at all.
I'm not getting it.
God damn. Well, don't you look at me like that. You certainly wouldn't be in any danger.
So they are in danger.
No one's in any danger.
Yeah. Look, if you the Jesse Waters Guide to Dating, if you like a lady, just knife her tires and then, be her only ride home. I guess. I disown my sex. Yeah, it's a row. Jesse Waters, very rapey conservative host, is gonna be the new Tucker Carlson, I guess. It's not great. I hate it. Hate it so much. I want to play this clip so badly. I want to play this clip so badly. But it's from The Daily Show, and I know that if I play it, I'm gonna get clapped by DMCA faster than I can blink. Was he the anti-work debate weirdo? I don't remember. I didn't follow that at all. But I would play this because it's a really, really great clip on that horribly racist segment that we covered earlier. I'm just gonna link it in the chats. You guys can check it out. But Ronnie Chang does a really good job breaking down and absolutely destroying Jesse Waters in this segment, and it lives in my brain forever. On the plus side, news ratings are shifting in the left's favor lately. Saw a thing that MSNBC is solidly overtaking Fox and CNN is falling off. On the top of that, the MSNBC's coverage seems to be leaning farther away from the centrist BS. Yeah, and the guy who was the guy who was steering CNN in a more conservative direction, he got ousted from CNN. So like that after that disastrous Trump town hall that happened on CNN, they booted him real quick. Honestly, Paladin lost. I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, they got rid of. I was gonna cover this. It was one of the stories that when I lost all of my tab organizing for show prep, it was one of the segments that just poofed into obliteration. But yeah, no, they got rid of that conservative fuck at CNN who was making everything hellish. I mean, like, CNN wasn't great before he came around, but it wasn't that bad, you know? It wasn't as bad as he made it. I think that... Oh, yeah, no. Tucker Carlson being ousted from Fox News decimated them, Sophie. Like, they were basically banking on Tucker Carlson's popularity for a lot of their ratings. The other hosts just really don't have his vim or vigor. Honestly, the only other one that I can really think of that has a decent amount of traction is Greg Gutfeld. And that's because Greg Gutfeld does his like late night show and has basically no conservative competition for like late night programming, and conservatives really love him. I mean, his show is literally makes me want to scratch my eyes and ears out, but conservatives love him, and he actually has one of the highest rated late night shows out of all of them, not just in like the conservo sphere. So I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't give it to Greg Gutfeld, but I figure they think they can keep Jesse Waters on a shorter leash. Yeah, Greg Gutfeld is a 100 Gex fan. I don't get it. I don't get it. So weird. Also, chat, we have now been streaming for an hour. This is your top of the hour ad break. How are you all doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We have a really, really good segment coming up soon. I thought it was going to be the opening segment, but we just had so much more stuff drop, you know? Remember when Fox News put on a trans kid positive segment in the middle of the day? I remember. That was a good segment. You know Laura from 100 Gex? Paladin Lost. You're really cool, you know? Also, folks, if you're enjoying the show, come on over. If you're over on YouTube or Twitch, come on over to riverboat.gg. You can be in the on-screen chat. And when you subscribe to me over on the website or make any donos to me over on the website, I get to keep 100% of the money you throw my way instead of splitting it 50-50 with Twitch or 70-30 with YouTube. It really, really helps me out. Same amount of money goes farther over on riverboat.gg to supporting me. And yeah, drop some subs. Subscribing gets you emotes, and also
Skadoosh.
Baycop Eternal, thank you for the $30 dono. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so goddamn much. And yes, we have text-to-speech on for anything over $5 for donos, and also for gifting subs. So if you guys would like to do that, come on over. You can get a fun colored name in my chat, and also more emotes for subscribing. Imagine not being in both chats. Yeah, apparently a Peaceful Warrior Gutfeld is a 100 Gex fan. That was something that was going around. Yeah. And also, folks, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the YouTube stream, and do hit the subscribe button. We are going to have more segments coming up, both on the live stream, but we're also going to have more videos going up on the YouTube, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Hit the little alert bell. And if you're over on Twitch, hit the follow button, please. I would very, very much appreciate that. And that being said, how we doing? The only other host that's comparable was Bill O'Reilly, but he's not as popular or bombastic now as he was in the past. Well, yeah, because he got murked by the sexual assault allegations. Recent poll of Fox News viewers has shown to actually be more trans positive than anyone thought. So it's showing it's clearly not a winning issue except online. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like these anti-trans ideologues who are like working themselves up into a hysteria, they have like this death grip on the Republican Party. So like the train's just gonna keep going even if the people on it don't want it to. Peaceful Warrior. I thought it was a typo. Now I understand the joke. Thank you. On the YouTubes. Yes. All right, folks. Let's keep going on. All right. We're going to start out with a fun segment before we get into the less fun segments. So, folks, do you guys remember, like, a couple years ago, there was, and this might have been one of the incidents that, like, popularized the word Karen, for, like, you know, women who are just, like, calling the police on black people, right? There was an incident where there was a black man in Central Park looking at birds. And the Central Park Karen called the police on this black guy for watching birds, right? Well, update on that from earlier this month. Woman who called police on black bird watcher in Central Park loses employment appeal. Classic Daddy, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Twitch is drunk. I got ads, so I subscribed with Prime to stop them. Then the player crashed. Then I reloaded it, repeated the ads. I'm sorry, Classic Daddy. Yeah, no. Like, she lost her job, and then she tried to appeal her job loss. You know, but let's go into the details, okay? A U.S. appeals court on Thursday refused to reinstate a lawsuit by Amy Cooper, the white woman who became known as Central Park Karen, after calling police on a black bird watcher against the employer that fired her following the encounter. In a 3-0 decision, the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan said Cooper did not prove that Franklin Templeton illegally dismissed her on the basis of race or defamed her by branding her a racist. Yo, like, I'm sorry. She's legal. Like, the court basically just said, no, man, you are legally a racist. Like, holy shit, dude. You weren't defamed when your former employee called you a racist. That was actually pretty accurate. Cooper has been an insurance portfolio manager had been an insurance portfolio manager at Franklin Templeton, a unit of San Mateo, California-based Franklin Resources. Yeah. The case arose from a May 25th, 2020 video that went viral in which Cooper confronted birdwatcher Christian Cooper, who is not related. Oh god, their last names are both Cooper. Amy Cooper said that she would tell police there's an African-American man threatening my life after Christian Cooper asked her to leash her dog to comply with park rules. Franklin Templeton fired Amy Cooper the next day, saying it had conducted an internal review and that we do not tolerate racism of any kind. Can we find that video real quick? Central Park Karen video. Let's see. No,
There is an African American man.
it's not the actual video. Here we go.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops.
Oh, that poor dog.
Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life.
What the
Please
hell?
tell them whatever you like.
Oh god. I think I only ever heard the audio of this because that dog is not being treated okay. Oh god. Jesus. You have a leash in your hand, dude. Why are you like fucking hanging your dog? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, I'm in the ramble, and there is a man, African American, who has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my. I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the ramble. Please send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the ramble.
This woman is fucking horrible. Like she's deliberately trying to get this black man killed by the cops and also abusing her dog at the same time. She's doing the whole But chat, this story has a good ending, and this story is that she lost her job and will forever be known as the racist she is, and 2, Christian Cooper, the black man taking the video in that exchange, who had the cops called on him by the Central Park Karen, now has his own show on Disney Plus.
I'm Christian Cooper, and I am a birder. I'm ready for some birds. Show me the feathers. Birds are essential to my way of seeing the world and loving the world. Birds are my thing.
Dude just loves birds.
Now I'm traveling the globe to explore the world of birds.
She's not gonna be nice to you. She's gonna try to bite you.
Oh, God.
This is dangerous!
I have to ask you, Chris, are you afraid of heights?
Oh, boy.
Release the birds. Bye-bye.
Why is the video, like... I want you all to see the majesty of the birds.
Birding is about seeing the bird in its natural habitat on its terms. We have the ability to make things better for the other creatures we share the planet with. You did really well, fella. We have that power. All we have to do is put our minds to it. Oh, there's the pure joy.
Dude. She will forever be known as a disgusting racist. Meanwhile, he has a show where they're just throwing money at him to go and do what he loves to do, which is looking at cool birds. And look at how happy he is, dude. Like, he just wants to see fucking birds, and he's willing to go anywhere to look the shit out of those birds. You look quintessentially male. You look quintessentially tiny dicked. Yum. Yum. Wait, I didn't notice that they had a little chomp. Chomp. Chorp.
This is dangerous!
I have to ask you, Chris, are you afraid of heights?
I just like him. I like him a lot. He seems like a really nice guy, and I'm really glad that he gets to, like, live his life while enjoying all of his bird friends. You know, it makes me happy. I'm glad to see him thriving. You know? He thriving though. You couldn't pay me enough to go on a bridge? Not in this America. Have you seen how many bridges have been collapsing? Did someone just learn the word quintessential? I guess so. Yeah. Seems like an awfully big word for such a tiny dick. You know? You ever hear about being too big for your britches? Because that guy hasn't. Hey! Sorry. Sorry, chat. Sometimes you just gotta dunk on the transphobes. You dunk your way through it. I didn't know this was a cooking stream. Oh, I'll cook all day long. But I thought that would be like a really nice and fun way to open stream today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, you know, an hour into stream instead. Let's see. Oh, chat, guess what? Conservatives are finally just coming out and saying what they actually mean when they pass these anti-abortion bills. You know? And it's pretty horrible, you know? The other day we covered part of the Tim Pool Emma Vigeland debate, and there's a part where Emma brings up the fact that, like, Tim Pool was saying, like, basically that it was a false flag, that obviously she was faking it, or that the people around her were faking that this 10-year-old had been sexually assaulted by her father. And Emma did great in that debate. And we're not talking exactly about that debate, but Actual Justice Warrior was there too, but no one gives a shit about him. Yeah, now conservatives are just coming out and saying, yeah, I think children should be raped. That's fine. Here's what you ghouls don't understand. I will accept one 10-year-old forced to give birth to her father's child every year to stop 30,000 plus other abortions. Lady just got on Twitter.com to, like, straight up say, yeah, I will help facilitate the rape of 10-year-olds. Like, they're just straight up saying it, chat. Because it's not about, like, saving life or protecting children or anything like that. To these people, it's just forcing women to be incubators, you know? Forcing people who can get pregnant to be incubators. And, like, that's what they fundamentally view people as, right? Like, they don't actually give a shit about these fetuses or the outcomes of, like, what birth might do to the people holding them in their bodies. Like, they don't give a shit. They want it to be a punishment. Because they read, most of them, many of them, read in their holy books that because, like, 10,000 years ago, a woman convinced a man to eat an apple, that therefore, well, you should go through the pain of childbirth. That's your punishment from God, you know. They just want more babies. They want more babies, but, like, I think the rank and file conservatives have been suckered into this line of thinking about, like, protecting, you know, that life begins at conception. First of all, no, it doesn't. Like, historically, every conception of, like, when a baby happens is that when it takes its first breath. The first breath has historically been, like, that's when it becomes, like, a person who is separate from, like, the parent. So all of this argumentation is a recent redefinition of this entire conversation. But second of all, like, they just want kids to be raped. You know, like, oh, well, you know, if that would make a baby, well, yeah, then that should happen, you know? Life begins when genetic material is synthesized. When you jerk off, you commit genocide. Honestly, Bisadu, I know Christians who would make that argument. Because once you get to anti-abortion rhetoric, that's kind of like the gateway. Like, I know it seems like an end point, but it's actually like a gateway to ever more conservative conceptions of what sex and relationships should be like, right? Like, I grew up in a conservative household, and you know what? There were conservative Christians around me who gave me the same spiel. You know, if you masturbate, Jesus cries. He sees you, and he cries. And, like, because there's, like, a Bible verse about, like, spilling your seed on the ground, but they kind of leave out when they tell you about that, when they tell you about, like, that Bible verse, they kind of leave out the fact that, like, God was angry about the seed spilled on the ground because it wasn't in, like, this guy's brother's wife. That's what God was angry about. And, like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating as hell because, Like, you guys kind of like are giggling about like, oh, teehee, they'll talk about how like every sperm is sacred and like you'll masturbate and like they'll make it a crime. Yeah. Yeah, they want the outlaw porn. You think they don't want to outlaw you like touching yourself? That's some prime baby making liquid, okay? But yeah, this thread, of course, goes on. Ideally, we'd prevent that situation from ever happening as well. But I understand we live in a world of trade-offs, and I'm willing to play ball. Like, literally... Look, I know that children are going to be raped, and I think that's okay. I think actually, ideally, we'd avoid the child rape, but you know... Well, the child rape is going to happen, and that baby should still live. And not only should that child get raped in order to prevent all of these other abortions, she should also be forced to carry that baby to term, even though it will probably kill her. Fucking monsters. It's your inability to understand trade-offs and compromise that led directly to you losing your rights when Roe was overturned. If you'd stuck with safe, legal, and rare, I guarantee you'd still have it. No. No. Sorry. No. You would want it even if it was safe and legal and rare. And guess what? It was safe, and it was legal, and it was fairly rare. And you know what? You guys still went after it anyway, and you guys would still bomb Planned Parenthoods. Even if it was all of those three things, and you believe them to be safe, legal, and rare, you would still bomb them. These are the kinds of people who bomb women's health clinics. But you had to go all shout your abortion up to, and maybe even slightly after, birth for any reason on demand. This ghoulishness right out of here. Okay. Conservatives. Here's what you need to know. You can't get an abortion in the 3rd trimester. If it can live outside of the human body, they deliver the baby. Unless it's going to kill the parent. No one is being like, well, you know, it's been 5 minutes since it's been out of the mother, but I guess we'll get the baby bashing hammer now. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. My other favorite take is women will still get abortions. They will just be far less safe and more women will die. Okay, fine with it. Again, when you talk about risk of the mother or anything like that, they don't give a fuck about the risk to the mother. They don't give a fuck about women's health. They think if you get pregnant, you need to be forced to have that baby. Even if it kills you. Even if it's going to kill you, they think you should have that baby. It is not an overstatement to say that these women, that these people, it's not just women, of course. Many men have this same ideology. It just happens in this case they're both women. They view women as disposable. They view themselves as disposable. Well, right up until it comes, you know, push to shove. Right? Like, if one of them was put in that situation, they'd find an excuse for themselves. They'd fly out to Canada or something, I'm sure. And, like, even if it's the 3rd trimester, it's going to kill the mother, there are always ways to get the live baby out. It's more like, if the fetus isn't viable, they will do the abortion thing. Yeah. Do 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 do. Hey, Gamer G. They think women are walking wombs and that's it? Yeah, 100%. They view themselves in a biologically essentialist way, and they think that the only valuable thing that they can contribute to the world is the fact that they have wombs. And not only that, chat, but like conservative rhetoric on women's bodies in particular is so twisted, right? There was a really common like set of videos that I saw going through conservative propagandists over the weekend, and it was like videos of like topless women celebrating Pride in a fountain somewhere in New York City, and they were calling it, oh, these people are naked. They're naked in front of children. Oh, they're these fucking disgusting rainbow pedophiles. You know, like they go off on rants, right, about how like these queer people celebrating Pride, they're being pedophilic in front of children. And their argument is that, well, first of all, it's legal to be topless in New York State. So it's legal for women not to wear shirts or bras. So that's not a crime. And, well, I thought women's bodies were sacred, right? Well, breasts aren't inherently sexual. They're not, okay? We have plenty of naked art that we hold up as like, oh, that's one of the greatest pieces of art of all time. You know? And they got their full-on genitals out and stuff. But we don't view them as sexy, you know? We don't view Michelangelo's David as like, oh fuck yeah. Time to beat some meat to that David statue. We don't. We don't look at the birth of Venus and go, oh my god, she's naked. Hell yeah. Like, we don't. Nudity isn't sexual. It's people projecting sexuality onto human bodies that is what makes it sexual, right? And like, yeah, it's okay for these people to be topless in New York City, and also there aren't like children there, and even if there are children there, like I don't know if conservatives know this, but children see a lot of boobs in their early lives, primarily because they, you know, eat out of the boobs. Yeah, no, Gamer G, yeah, these people think that breastfeeding your child in public is pedophilic. Yeah. If you got to feed your baby, that you're actually a pedophile. So, you know, women don't have any bodily autonomy at all, really. That's the primary thing. I know I'm autistic and this stuff isn't the same for me, but banning nudity never made sense to me. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really. It's just a social norm. You know? One of the stupid things I've observed is people always throw the word pedo around way too much. It will eventually destroy its meaning, plus it is a cowardice attack tactic. Well, it is a cowardly attack tactic. But sometimes it's warranted, you know, when like, I don't know, like for example, I would say Keemstar kind of pedophilic, right? As an example. Keemstar, man in his late 30s or early 40s, dating a 16-year-old. Yeah, I think that's pretty fucking weird. I think that's pedophilic, right? But like these people will just be like, "Oh yeah, you put a pride flag in a classroom, you fucking pedophile." Like that's just conservatives radicalizing and trying to get people to do acts of violence, you know? All I know is that pedocon theory seems true. Yes, it's a science. Guarantee conservative parents' kids are learning way more nudity and explicit stuff from their friends at school or the internet than in the library. Yeah, 100% Gamer G. And honestly, they should have access to sex ed materials in their library. It just made me really mad. Okay, folks, are you guys ready for some shit? Are you guys ready for, like, a load of, like, actual horse shit? Because we were just talking about, like, you know, some pervasive ideologies that disagree pretty hugely, pretty bigly from mine, a lot of people in chat as well. And we're going to talk now about political maneuvering that is absolutely disgusting to me on, like, a primordial level. This is one of the worst things I've seen in American politics since I started covering politics in 2020, which is saying something, because we've seen a lot of horse shit, you know? But apparently, and this comes courtesy of More Perfect Union, apparently there is a movement in Delaware, in the state of Delaware, to grant corporate suffrage. Might be like, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? Essentially, the Delaware House is trying to, once again, meaning they've already tried, and they're trying it again, to allow companies the right to vote. They want to, well, if corporations are people, they deserve to vote. That's their logic. That's their logic, chat. Yeah, no, felons can't vote. Companies, though, they deserve the right to vote. For too long, companies have been held back from the voting booth. But you know what? Finally, KFC will be able to vote in its local municipality elections. This is like the next level of company town. Like, they aren't able to actually build company towns anymore. But you know, now, well, if this passes, if they make this a thing, you're going to see it pushed in other places around the country. And not only are you going to see it passed in other places around the country, but, like, these companies are going to completely own swaths of the just huge swaths of the country. You know, democracy means nothing. It can no longer serve as a counterweight to the forces of capital. You know, because chat, I don't know if you guys know this, you can make basically infinite amounts of companies. You know, you can just register LLC after LLC after LLC. Okay? And that's insane. It is insane that this is happening. But let's take a look. Breaking, the Delaware House is once again set to vote Tuesday on a bill that would allow hundreds of LLCs to vote in local elections in the town of Seaford, population 8,500. The bill was pulled from the schedule last week after receiving national scrutiny, but now it's back. Well, now that no one's looking anymore. Time to, they couldn't handle democracy sausages? Yeah, no kidding. But now it's back. HS1 for HB 121, an act to amend the charter of the city of Seaford relating to the city's ability to authorize artificial entities, limited liability corporations, partnerships, and trusts to vote in municipal elections held in Seaford. This is insane. This is insane. I hate everything about this. Conceptually. So I can go and form a dozen corps and get 13 votes? Jebek, yes. That is exactly how that works, actually. So here we have some more of this, right? I can't believe that this has to be a thing, but apparently earlier this month, a representative from Delaware named Sherry Dorsey Walker introduced a bill to ban LLCs from voting in any local election. And the fact that you even have to do that says an awful lot about the state of our democratic process in America. Yeah, exactly, Manwich Cannon. That's the thing, right? Like, an individual could make a dozen LLCs. A huge-ass corporation, you can, like, if they wanted to tip the election in a pivotal place, hundreds of thousands, you know? Just hire all the lawyers. Get all the paperwork filed, you know? It would effectively guarantee Delaware became a beet red state, which is the least of all worries related to this bullshit. Yeah, 100%. Additionally, someone did some digging. There are currently 234 LLCs registered in Seaford, and in local municipal elections during the last city council election, anyone want to take a guess how many people voted total in the last election in this town of 8,500? Take a wild stab. 300? 300's pretty close to Archangel. It's 340 people total voted in this city's elections. There are 234 companies, or LLCs, registered in Seaford. They would effectively own any local election if this was allowed to pass through. Absolutely insane. And God, oh God. Here's a quote for you guys. Democrats have been conflicted about House Bill 121, even as they allowed it to pass. They say they are not in support of corporations casting ballots, yet they are uncomfortable going against the desire of local town government. I'm kind of caught in a pickle here. House Speaker Pete Schwarzkopf said about the bill in a committee hearing last week, "I do feel strongly about small town governments. I don't think it's a good idea, but I don't think I want to vote to stop it." How can you not want to vote to stop something that fundamentally breaks democracy? You're an elected fucking representative. You're an elected representative and you're like, well, I just don't think it's a good idea, but who am I to stand in the way of a local government? You're an elected representative. That's who you are. You're the House Speaker in Delaware. That's who you are. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Yeah. Last month, Seaford had a municipal election for 2 city council seats. 3 candidates, 2 of whom were incumbents, had their names on the ballot. In a city of 8,250 people, only 340 ballots were cast on April 15th. Incumbent Councilman Jose Santos lost his re-election bid by 54 votes. And the city now wants to amend its constitution to allow 234 LLCs to enter the election, effectively stitching up the election for whatever company man they put in charge of this absolutely broken township. As someone who started a business, if it stands, it will have unprecedented consequences, not only for democracy, but for the bureaucratic state. With 1,000 times more filings, the system literally could not handle it, which is why I think it'll get struck down quickly. I mean, we'll see, Gamer G. We'll see. If it does pass, I hope it does get struck down quickly, but I don't know if it would be able to be undone that easily. Mostly because it's amending their constitution, like their city constitution. I don't know exactly how that works, but we'll see. True, Sophie. A lot of anti-trans and anti-drag bills are being shot down recently, which is wonderful, wonderful news. I'm like so angry. There's like a roiling in my gut, you know? God damn. Also, chat, good job on turning out for riverboat.gg chat today. We got a lot of people in here. Hi, folks. Today was the election of the mayor of Toronto. So far, Olivia Chow is winning. She's left wing. Well, Star Tropics, let's keep our fingers crossed that she can unfuck the housing costs in Toronto. Last I looked, they were absolutely terrible. True, Gamer G, I saw that news story. Okay. Deep breath, breathe, get it out. It was called for. I mean, as someone who covers politics, if you're not angry at that, I don't know what else we can say about it, really. Like, it fundamentally breaks the concept of democracy. God. All right, chat. We have another really big news story. Now, I know earlier we covered that Donald Trump, the recording of Donald Trump's commentary related to not having declassified a document he showed people who were unauthorized to see classified material. We played that recording earlier. But guys, as I titled a recent YouTube video on my channel, Donald Trump is gigafucked. Okay? He is absolutely getting gangbanged, I believe is the technical term for it. And today was a surprise additional gangbang, courtesy of the Secret Service. Now, if you guys will recall, on January 6th, and like about a year afterwards, there was some like some people within the Secret Service said that Donald Trump had like freaked out when the Secret Service took him to a secure location because he wanted to be with the people. And he allegedly lunged at one of his Secret Service men who was driving the car he was in. Okay? And shortly after that, a bunch of like conservative folks said, that never happened, and we'll testify in front of Congress that that never happened. Well, weirdly enough, none of those people ever materialized. And today, several Secret Servicemen, 5 or 6 in fact, have now testified in front of the January 6th grand jury. And that is pretty interesting. I didn't think we would get that. Because I guarantee you they are not testifying in front of a January 6th grand jury to say Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Okay? They're not going there to talk about how Donald Trump is completely and totally innocent. They're going there because they saw some shit. And they got subpoenaed by the January 6th grand jury. So let's learn a little bit more about this, shall we? From MSNBC. This is as of 6 hours ago, so it's relatively new info.
We have breaking news in the special counsel January 6th grand jury probe. NBC News has exclusive new reporting that 5 or 6 Secret Service agents have now testified before that grand jury. The grand jury that will decide whether to indict the former president for his alleged role into the January 6th attack on the Capitol. And
I did not lunge at them, and I did not throw chicken nuggies at the wall. It was a Big Mac. It had a lot of ketchup and mustard on it.
ABC's Julia Ainsley broke this story. So, Julia, walk us through what you've learned and what it could mean for this investigation.
Yeah, we understand that about 5 or 6 Secret Service agents were subpoenaed by the grand jury and that they complied with that subpoena. They've now appeared. And what that means is that as this grand jury continues to deliberate, we know they met several times last week, they're getting closer to the heart of the matter, and that being the former president's involvement in the January 6th insurrection. They want to hear from people like Secret Service agents. We don't know exactly who they've heard from yet, whether that could include Tony Ornato or Bobby Engel. But at the key of this, if you think about those key events from that day, we'll want to know how Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony stands up. She, of course, relayed that she heard Trump try to spin the car, take the wheel, go back toward the Capitol to be with the insurrectionists that day. And we'll want to know more about what was happening with the Secret Service detail around former President Mike Pence. Remember, a lot of that is missing because of those Secret Service text messages that never got saved and handed over as the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General.
Well, keep in mind, Catalina Gearbox, this isn't a case that is going to be decided on by conservative, like, elected officials. This is a case that's going to, trial. If the grand jury thinks that he's guilty, it's going to trial. So it wouldn't be like the impeachment trial where, like, the Senate rules on whether or not he's guilty. And, like, obviously Mitch McConnell and his ilk aren't going to like find him guilty in that situation. This would go to, like, an actual courtroom.
Announced a year ago. So there's been so many details that we know we want to get from the Secret Service, but there's been this big black hole about exactly what they knew, and we know how close they were to the president that day. So now we know Jack Smith is interested in those same questions, and the grand jury, at least so far, has been able to get some of those answers. And that will all play into a decision that may come at some point to indict the former president on that. Of course, Jack Smith just recently indicted former President Trump on his handling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. This is the other grand jury that Jack Smith has convened on the former president.
Yeah. The Trump stakes are high. True. Should have invested in Trump stakes. Value through the roof right now. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information from Ari Melber. Let's see if we can get a little bit more.
Probes into Trump. We have news on both the classified documents prosecution and the open Jan 6 probe he's conducting. Now, beginning with the insurrection probe, NBC News.
We are going to speed this up though, because I don't have patience for how slow he talks.
Breaking the story that at least 5 Secret Service agents have testified before Smith's Jan 6 grand jury, which means they're complying with the subpoenas they received. Now, that's a major development. We knew agents had addressed other matters. This is the first report today that Donald Trump's own Secret Service agents are testifying about Jan 6th, a sign of how Smith's investigation continues to grind towards accountability.
It was the Travis Scott meal.
And while there is understandable deference to the Secret Service's role in protecting officials.
Oh, yeah, we still haven't heard from the Georgia case. I don't know if we'll hear from the Georgia case for like another year. They keep expanding that one.
Doesn't mean they're above complying with law enforcement. In fact, they are an arm of law enforcement. And the reason there's interest here in their testimony is, among other things, because of what witnesses have already said Donald Trump demanded of his agents that day. Like the White House aide who memorably told Congress Trump clashed with agents because he wanted to join his fans as they stormed the Capitol.
The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted the story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Now, that scene sounded important partly because of its sheer physicality, the lunging, the cursing, clavicle. And that's part of testimony, whether you're watching a courtroom drama.
Clavicle.
Film, or yes, the real news. Those hearings, of course, had a aspect of trying to tell the story. But now that we're getting real progress and heat on this coup, let me tell you what's more important.
Everything right.
What
You're
that
all
substantively
wrong.
revealed. That the agents made some kind of legal or security decision to refuse the acting president, the then commander-in-chief's order and physical effort to go to the Capitol. Why? Why was that a clash, and why was Trump so intent on going? This sounds bad for him, but I don't mean it as a criticism. I just mean, let's say in plain English, what was revealed. He was trying to go join the violence in progress. Let me repeat. The testimony there, which now these Secret Service agents may be asked about, was that Donald Trump was issuing what prosecutors would call an unlawful order. Hey, go bomb my political opponents. Unlawful, illegal, unconstitutional. That's the only kind of order that people in the chain of command can lawfully reject for obvious reasons. Hey, go join the insurrection. Hey, bring me with armed guards to join what became a convicted sedition so that, again, if you imagine that the agents didn't interfere, according to the testimony, so that Donald Trump, as the sitting president, would walk up the steps of the Capitol with his armed guards, who work for you, by the way. You pay their salaries. They swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, not any random person, including in this case a defeated outgoing president, walk up the steps to join the fans who were battering police officers and now we know legally committing sedition, some of them. That is a huge deal. And if as I say it, it sounds sort of harsh, like I said, or sounds critical, it is just the testimony. And the question is, will Jack Smith use what he's getting from these Secret Service agents and other sources to build a case about the people who didn't ultimately join? In other words, was it an attempted crime but not a completed one? Was there conspiring off-site? Remember, Jack Smith has yet to bring any charges against anyone, not just the president, but if he finds wrongdoing by someone else in government or out of government who was not physically storming.
Yeah, there are a couple people on MSNBC who do a pretty good job. I think Ari Melber tends to be one of them. Also, goddamn, what a pause screen here. Oh God. Oh, what a pause. Oh, he's very cringe somniostatic, but I like him because he's cringe and therefore free.
But plotting, well, he can go to Garland and go and try to bring those charges. He hasn't done that against a single person yet, and the reason people are nervous is he just proved in a very big way he ain't afraid of charging anybody. So people who thought a year ago, while Garland and the DOJ was slow walking it, while Washington Post was reporting that people were afraid to even say Trump's name inside DOJ, those folks who might have been involved in this or that, they're looking a little different right now. They're wondering what these agents are saying and what.
Yeah, but by the way, like, they've had so many people testify before this grand jury. They've had Mike Pence, they got Newt Gingrich. Like, they are doing something very comprehensive over there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with, because they clearly are onto something. Because they're getting people to come out and testify, you know? Yeah, there's like some really interesting stuff going on.
What the testimony is going to show and what other evidence they have. And they're drawing on testimony from another Trump vet, Michael Roman, about the plot to create the pro-Trump electors in swing states that were won by Biden. That's the New York Times' very diplomatic way of referring to alleged elector fraud, won by Biden, but putting Trump electors in there.
Oh, why Newt? I just remember seeing that there was a news story earlier this month about Newt Gingrich having testified in front of the grand jury. I think because he had collaborated with Donald Trump and like Donald Trump's team of advisors on like how to spin the election fraud story. Yeah. And I also believe that Newt Gingrich also was one of the people behind the fake elector scheme to try and get Trump into power as well. So, like, Newt Gingrich has been there, but behind the scenes for a while. He's never been, like, one of the people who's, like, super in the in the foreground related to January 6th, but he's been pretty deeply involved. Yeah.
As I've told you before, when black and brown people do that, it's often called voter fraud right up front. Not all the Mickey Mouse extra diplomatic language. We're talking about illegal false electors. That's the plot we've reported on. And we're talking about at least two people who were false electors and we know have now cut deals with Smith's probe. Now that plot is one of several.
Yeah. this is another thing that we haven't talked about a whole lot, but it has been happening pretty consistently. Apparently, a lot of the fake electors who were supposed to be like part of this plan have flipped and basically done kind of like a, well, if we flip on the people we worked with, are you know, we Gucci? And the government goes, yeah, we Gucci. What do you tell us what we want to know, and you're good. So basically, they've been applying a lot of pressure behind the scenes to flip people on their bosses, on their boss's boss, like anything they know. And there's a very good chance, because none of these people have actual real loyalty to Trump. You know, for them, it was a political game, for most of them anyway. So it's looking very, very likely that they are going to get Trump on something here. Also, hello, Airbnb-bortion.
You can see the lanes here. Lawsuits and electors started up top and started out green in this taxonomy we reported because, in all fairness, initially, they wouldn't obviously be illegal. They turn yellow or red if after the duly appointed electors are chosen and seated and the Electoral College certifies them, people are still walking around trying to commit fraud. This is the scheme they're focused on. It's a lot going on. Jack Smith is leading this probe into the insurrection and the related plots. He hasn't charged anyone. And he's also working on the prosecution of Donald Trump himself at trial. The presiding judge there set that date we told you before, about August. And we told you at the time it could get delayed. Now Smith is the one asking for more time. 4 months later, for a December trial is the request in order to handle security clearances and deal with all the evidence, the transcripts, the interviews.
Yeah, honestly, this seems like a more realistic timeline. So yeah, initially the trial for the documents case was going to be in August of next year. That's not looking like it's going to be the case. However, they could go for December. Or wait, were they going for December of this year? Because that would be insane.
4 months later, for a December trial is the request in order to handle security. Smith is leading this probe into the insurrection and the related plots. He hasn't charged anyone. He's also working on the prosecution of Donald Trump himself at trial.
Stream's been going well today.
The presiding judge there set that date we told you before, about August. And we told you at the time it could get delayed. Now Smith is the one asking for more time. 4 months later, for a December trial is the request in order to handle security clearances and deal with all the evidence, the transcripts, the interviews. There's a hearing next month on the classified issues, and there was a new ruling today from the judge dealing with one of Jack Smith's requests about trying to keep...
Oh, yeah. So it's December of this year. My bad. December of this year. That's a much more reasonable timeline because, yeah, any lawyer that Donald Trump chooses to work with is then going to have to go through a very comprehensive background check to make sure he's not, like, on the payroll of, like, some foreign nation or something. And then he's going to have to, they're going to have to put him through, like, some kind of, like, classification process to allow him to see classified material. I'm just saying him because, let's be real, Donald Trump is not going to pick a woman lawyer. Yeah.
Trump and his team from, for example, leaking things they want to be secret. Now, how is Trump handling all this? Well, the Times reports that Donald Trump is rolling towards this trial with his mind on his money and his money on his mind. And he's moving money that he's raised away from the campaign to pay assorted personal legal fees for the many legal headaches he and his allies apparently face.
By the way, just listen to how much better the MSNBC like ending theme sounds when it's sped up. I don't know. Just sounds good. Also, folks, I'm just looking at our analytics right now. We have a lot of people here today. Without any raids or referrals happening. We got like a good 120 people. This might be This might be one of the biggest polls we've gotten for a while. Hello, everybody. And folks, we are at the top of the hour. Hello! We've been streaming for 2 hours now. How about it? How we doing? Folks, if you would like to be in the on-screen chat, all you gotta do is come on over to riverboat.gg. I believe we have it set up that you can just use !site in the YouTube chat or in Twitch chat. Come on over, and you can be in the on-screen chat, and when you support me, it really, first of all, basically your support makes my show possible. Without you guys, I could not do this show. So please, please, please do consider coming on over and dropping some subs or donos. When you support me over on riverboat.gg, I get to keep 100% of the money you throw my way instead of splitting it 50-50 with Twitch or 70-30 with YouTube. Yeah, and you can get more emotes. You can get cute emotes in my chat. They're fun to use, like this little dancing pug that has a little fun guy on his back. And you get to join like a bunch of really cool, chill folks. So please do consider coming on over. And folks, please consider dropping some subs or donos, because that is what allows me to live, actually. This is what I do full time. I prep this show, and I do the show, and then I sleep. That's my life. And some days I get days off where I can smooch my partner. Let's see here. Also, folks, if you're over on Twitch chat, there are no ads over on riverboat.gg chat, so consider coming on over. Your partner on stream with you is great. Aw, thanks, Somniostatic. We might do that again sometime soon. Just like a chill, like, kitchen nightmare type situation, or a chill kitchen nightmare. Maybe we'll do like a dual game stream. It could be fun. It'd be real fun. Feed the pretty lady and let her buy cute clothes. True! It is really, also, it's Pride Month, and it's really transphobic if you don't know. It's me, Airbnbortion. Thank you for the $10 dono. And for not being transphobic. Thank you. You've paid the transphobe tax. You can now say the T-slur one time. No, I'm kidding. Please don't. Hey Zoop, how you doing? How we doing in Twitch and YouTube chats? I see you, Erica. I see you, Peaceful Warrior. I see you, Jay Zander. Oh god, do I have to talk about Elon Musk? Why? Post founder Noam Barden is on a mission to reinvent social media and break big tech's destructive dominance. Okay, good luck. I don't know that that's gonna happen. But Jack, I already bought cute lingerie for a pretty lady. I can't afford donos this time. Well, that's okay. As long as you're buying lingerie for pretty ladies. Not Melon Husk? No, we're not talking about Melon Husk. I won't do that to you guys. I love you all too much. Also, I saw someone with a question for me in one of these chats. Let's see. React Andy stream with the GF. Could be fun. Oh, Sophie asked, will you be covering Keffels and Yankee Tanky debate, or is it too ridiculous? I will cover that debate if you guys want me to. I'll do it if you guys want me to. I've seen Yankee Tanky talk to other content creators, and I feel like there's nothing there, you know? Is it pretty funny? Is it funny? Is it wild? Make it a dono goal? You know what? That's a good idea. Snuggle Kitten, you're right, okay? Here. If you guys get 20 subs or their equivalent. There we go. Whoop. Whoop. Oh no. It's too big. All right. Subs to Keffels, Deb. Well, if we get 20 subs, we'll rename Keffels Deb. I'm just gonna put it as Keffels. Subs to Keffels. There you go. It's Yankee Tankies and Keffels. Yeah, nah. There may be many. Oh, there are many slur. Much TOS ban. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Twitch made me already ban the VOD. Made them already ban the VOD. Ooh, would it work on YouTube? Well, nah. I don't want to. You know what? I need to use the bathroom really badly. I'm gonna think about this. As I sit on the toilet. I'll be right back, everyone. I love you. And if anyone wants to support me, I'll be right back. I return, bitches. Okay, yeah. So we aren't doing the Yankee Tanky debate. It's been delisted from YouTube due to hate talk. Cool. Estonia just legalized gay marriage? Hell yeah! Congratulations to Estonia. Post.news is actually worth checking out. Maybe I will. Fuck Yankee Candle. All my homies hate Yankee Candle, but I have Yankee Candles. Oh no. Many, many, many slurs? Damn, that's a lot of slurs. Estonia is Bestonia. Yeah, and it's like a lot of like anti-trans bigotry. Like Yankee Tanky is just like, if let me put it this way, if Yankee Tanky was debating a black person, there would be many, many N-words thrown around. Motherfucker does not give a shit about using slurs. Wait, for real? For real, yeah, for real. Yankee Tanky has like actual brain damage, yeah. Isn't that the guy who debated Vosh in an alley? Yeah. He's the guy who got suckered into Caleb Maupin's like weird sex cult. Yeah, he debated. Yeah. Okay. Well, folks, let's go. How about this? If you guys get there we go. 20 subs to Star Trek. We'll watch some Star Trek, okay? The Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 1, got put up on YouTube by Paramount Plus. So if we get 20 subs, we'll watch that. All right? All right? You know what? 25. Is that good? Slippery 1017. I don't think Donald Trump has a pretty good... I don't think he has a really good shot in 2024. All right. With that being said, here's some fun stuff. You'll never guess what this guy's mad about.
And I curse in the name of the Lord this new Barbie movie that has been released full of transsexual and transgender and homosexuality. In the name of the Lord, make God loose a holy judgment. Hallelujah. Go ahead and write in all that you want. What's happened is the church has been so intimidated and so silent that we're afraid to stand up and declare, "Thus saith the Lord." And I curse in the name of the Lord this new Barbie movie.
Oh, God. Oh, Cross Crescent Creed. Over on the website, somebody gifted you a tier 2 sub. Yeah, the Barbie movie is satanic now for, I guess, apparently supporting trans people and being kind of gay. And it's like, my brother in Christ, have you not seen a Ken doll before? I curse Ryan Gosling for being too damn hot as Ken. Is he about to start crying? He's about to start doing something. Look at his arms flap. I can feel the breeze. Shit, I better go watch the movie now.
Asterisk Ashley J.
Ashley.
Curtis asterisk gifted asterisk 5 tier 1 asterisk subscriptions.
Thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs, getting us off to a good start here on our way to our Star Trek goal. What's this guy named? The Reverend Chaser? Yeah, his name is the guy who posts comments on every trans girl's porn video on Pornhub. That's his name. God damn, dude. Also, we're just gonna move through this, all right? I think you guys need to. We're gonna do a small dose, a small micro dose. We're gonna microdose some Charlie Kirk content, okay? Prepare yourselves. It's not enough. It's not enough to make you like brainworms, okay? It's not enough to make you brainworms, but it is enough to laugh at him.
Back, everybody. Welcome. We are actually living through what we now call Queer Quarter. It's no longer just Pride Month. We have a whole Pride season. It just basically goes from May to September. They'll just make it the whole year.
Based.
I was walking in a town recently, and again, you feel like it's conquered territory. Every 10 feet is a Pride flag.
Also, I swear, this video is not edited to make his head look like this. This is... His eyes just keep getting smaller. His head keeps getting bigger, his eyes keep getting smaller. I don't know. But also, yes, America is occupied territory because other flags exist.
And someone I was with asked an interesting question. They said, why does it look different this year? What is with the triangle and the pink and the thing? I said, So what do you think that is? They said, well, I don't know. And again, this person was very traditional in their values, but they was, I want to live and let live. And it was too much for them, all these flags. I said, that's the new transgender intersectional.
Transgender? What the fuck is this hairline? I don't know, man. The years are not going to be kind to Charlie Kirk going forward, okay?
It's the IQA+. They will not stop changing the flag. They will not stop adding other little alleged victim groups.
Okay, but let's not pretend that's why you dislike the flag, Charlie. Right? Like, Charlie Kirk wouldn't be cool with it if it was just the rainbow flag that most people know, right? Like, let's not pretend he's cool with that, because he clearly already thinks that, like, flying a rainbow flag is occupying the territory. Like, why are you trying to say your problem with the LGBTQ flag is that it changes a lot? You don't care about that. The U.S. flag has changed a lot. You know, we had like the stars in the circle at one point. Aw.
Charlie's face shrinks every election Republicans lose. If they lose enough times, he will finally shut up forever.
It's true.
Vote in 2024.
He was cursed by a witch under a bridge once. It's a horrible wasting magic on his face. It's why he's had to sell his soul to the corporations.
And they certainly will not stop trying to conquer more and more time. I think most decent Americans like you in the audience are like, okay, a couple days. We get 1 day for July 4th, but we get a whole month for people's sexual preferences. Really strange. But
well, we get 1 day for 4th of July, but we have every day in America, Charlie. And also, we have a month for people's sexual preferences because people were systematically murdered and discriminated against by the state for hundreds of years for their sexual preferences and gender identities. So yeah, Like that's why there's a month. Literally in our lifetime, Charlie, there was like a prominent case of like a man being crucified in barbed wire for being gay. Like what are you talking about, Charlie? Yeah, that's why we get a month.
But it's fine. But no. Now it's according to Lynn, who is the rear admiral, whatever, of the Biden regime, says let's declare it the whole summer of Pride. Why not? Play cut 19.
Hello, my name is Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have the honor of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of Pride. Happy Summer of Pride.
Let's declare a summer of pride. These are people that are in the top levels of our government.
Yeah? What? They just show that clip. Like, that also, like, it made the rounds on, like, Michael Knowles' show, Ben Shapiro's show. Like, and their problem is just that, like, oh, gay people might be recognized more? What's the issue, right? They're gonna trans your kids even harder this summer. What? Yeah, like, they like to think that, like, liberals are the ones who are easily triggered, but, like, they literally farm content off of being enraged over, like, a lady going on state media and being like, it's Summer of Pride, everybody, and like they like shit themselves in anger. Like it's wild to watch. Oh hey, here we go.
This last weekend seemed to kind of be a crescendo of parades in Chicago and New York. Widespread. It's just the outright degeneracy.
Yeah, it seemed like a crescendo of parades. I can't imagine why the last weekend of Pride Month might have a lot of events and parades. Can't wrap my head around it. No idea how that could happen.
San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles. It is beyond indefensible. But there you have Chuck U. Schumer and J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Eric Adams and many others just celebrating alongside. And I want to be clear. Eric Adams, you have this pathetic picture. Eric Adams, New York City mayor, with the trans flag and the gay flag. I don't know if he agrees with it or not.
Well, given that he's waving the flag, Charlie, at a Pride event, I would hazard a guess that he's at least somewhat okay with the gays.
But he is behaving in a certain way for a reason. Why would Eric Adams all of a sudden pander to the gay lobby?
Yes, because thinking gay people deserve to exist. Obviously, they must have been lobbying. They got to him, Charlie. The deep gay state got to them.
Because he fears them. And this is what is very important to understand. Is that...
Why can't he look at the camera?
The LGBTQ mafia, the LGBTQ cartel, they are vicious.
Vicious. Someone needs to edit that into Cowboy Bebop. Vicious. Vicious. Why did he emphasize the S like that? Well, because he's a sassy little guy. He emphasized the S because he's a sassy little guy, chat. He's a guy who's a little bit sassy. Vicious. He's just a sassy little man. Oh god. Here's another story, though. This one's a little bit less fun. So apparently the NHL has banned Pride jerseys during warm-up team practice. So yeah, they'd have these cool ass, like actually genuinely cool Pride jerseys. They've been banned during warm-ups because they are a distraction. It's just too distracting to try and play hockey while seeing colors happen. Colors, as we know, are the most distracting things hockey players deal with, not, you know, people punching them in the face or hitting them with giant-ass sticks. Yeah. Imagine being an entire-ass sports league, and your official position is, now, our fans are just gonna be a little too bigoted for this, okay? If they see a rainbow, they're gonna piss it in the stands. They're gonna piss, and that piss is gonna flow all the way down to the ice where it's gonna freeze, and then we have piss frozen onto our field, or whatever the fuck we call this. I guess it's a rink or something. It's gonna be piss frozen on the rink. And we don't want that, so we have to ban the rainbows from our team practices, from our warm-ups. Yeah, doesn't NASCAR have like trans racers now?
Commissioner, first of all, I understand there was a decision made on the Pride jerseys in warm-up today at Board of Governors.
Well, actually, I've suggested that it would be appropriate for clubs not to change their jerseys in warm-ups because it's become a distraction and taking away from the fact that all of our clubs in some form or another host nights in honor of various groups or causes, and we'd rather they continue to get the appropriate attention that they deserve and not be a distraction.
This guy's being a smug little asshole about it. My man over here needs to get on the ice with some gay hockey players, I think. Sportsnet explained that during the 2023 to 23 NHL season, some teams had chosen to wear Pride-themed jerseys during warm-ups, while other teams did not. Some players, including Andrei Kuzmenko, also chose to skip warm-ups on the nights their teams wore the Pride jerseys. Yeah, so basically, the reason they banned these jerseys was maybe not because their audiences were bigoted, but because their players were literally so bigoted they didn't even want to show up and play in a rainbow jersey. Because if I play in a rainbow jersey, they're gonna think I'm a queer who likes it up the ass. This just in, Gritty killed a guy and ate his beating heart. That man was a hockey player. It's true. Oh, hey. I didn't know this. I missed this one. But apparently in 2021, 21-year-old hockey player Luke Prokop, who may or may not be pro-cop, made history by becoming the first active NHL player to come out as gay. Good for Luke. But like literally only 2 years ago, the first NHL player to come out while playing in the NHL. Only 2 years ago. It's wild, dude. It's a backwards sport. Okay. Also, folks, very important. This is kind of a big deal, but the Club shooting suspect, the Club Q shooting suspect, has pled guilty to murder and is facing 5 life sentences. The Club Q shooter is not going to see the outside of a prison cell, and I think that's good. You know, that's a positive for the LGBTQ community. But man, it's fucking sad. I hope those families get the justice that they and the closure that they were looking for, you know? Yeah, dude shot 22 people. God damn. I mean, I still suspect that Anderson Lee Aldrich's pronouns are a ruse, as he hasn't yet, or they haven't yet been sentenced. But you know, maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe extreme self-hatred. The lawyer admitted it was a ruse? Okay. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Defense attorney uses he/him pronouns for Club Q mass shooting suspect. The only people who've ever referred to the Colorado Springs terrorist as non-binary are his defense attorneys. It's an attempt to dilute the severity of the 44 hate crime charges he's caught. Yeah. Oh, look. The Surf's appearance. Oh, yeah. This was the guy whose dad was like, oh, I'm just glad he's not queer. Yeah. FBI is asking about 2 websites in connection with last month's shooting at LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado. One of the websites Krause said he told investigators was created by Anderson Lee Aldrich, 22, who was charged Tuesday with 305 criminal counts. Jesus. The website allegedly created by Aldrich is a forum-type free speech site. People have anonymously posted racist and anti-Semitic memes, language, and videos. A video on the homepage titled Wrong Targets advocates for killing civilians as part of a larger effort to assassinate the elites at the top and cleanse society. A link on the homepage that reads Visit Our Brother's site directs to a webpage with links to 4 short videos, each uploaded in 2 different formats that appear to have been posted in the hours leading up to the shooting. 2 of the videos show the inside of a Toyota at night. In one, the dashboard of the clock reads 11:44. And the person recording the video says, okay, before ending it. The videos appear to have gone up from 9:28 p.m. to 11:43 p.m. local time on the night of the shooting. Okay, yeah. Yeah. The Brother site previously hosted video of the mass shooting at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York that left 10 people dead. Links to the site were quickly shared on the extremist sites 4chan and 8kun. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Looks like he was also running neo-Nazi sites. I'm still thinking this is a ruse. He's gonna keep it up until sentencing. One hand wonder, we're just talking about the Club Q shooter pleading guilty, facing 5 life sentences. So it's bittersweet, but yeah. All right, so I have a... Wow, they actually pled guilty? Yeah. Okay, so... I know we've watched a bit of Rising content recently. I saw this one, and I saw who was hosting it, and I figured we should take a look on it, because I, frankly, am deeply curious what the commentary on this story is going to be from Rising. Here we go. This is from a couple days ago, but let's see how it goes, huh? It's not endless suffering, Stout Man. We only need 19 more subs to Star Trek.
Former NCAA swimmer Riley Gaines, who has competed against trans swimmer Leah Thomas, gave testimony at the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on protecting pride, defending the civil rights of LGBTQ+ Americans yesterday. She
I can't... Why the fuck are we talking about Riley Gaines at a Senate Judiciary meeting? Why? It's a meeting about defending the civil rights of queer people. Why is she there when her explicit purpose is attacking the civil rights of queer people?
commented on what it means to be a feminist. Let's hear some of what she had to say.
Let me give you a chance to respond to something that Leah Thomas said recently, publicly. This is
conservatives brought her.
She said this publicly. They're using this quote now. They're using the guise of feminism. They meaning you, using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs. Meaning you advocating for women, women's rights is actually just a cover for transphobia. Do you want to respond to that?
Feminism is not a fluid term. The original and the meaning of what it means to be a feminist is to uphold, respect, honor, embrace, and celebrate women on our own physical ceilings, our own uniqueness. That term has not changed. And
that's not what it means, actually. That's not what it means. It's a movement to bring about the equality of the sexes, equality of treatment across genders. That's what it means. Fuck, man.
What this really is a male mansplaining what it is to be a feminist, which I honestly think is pretty ironic, and it's something we've seen before.
Yes. Because men cannot believe in treating women equally. Ah, yes. Cool. God damn it. Yeah, even if even if she had gotten it right, it has changed. Exactly, Sam and Moose. There are so many different waves of feminism. Yeah, no way a man could ever be a feminist. Yeah, no way a man could ever be in favor of like getting rid of toxic ideas of masculinity, like it's not okay for men to cry. You know, no way a man could ever be against toxic ideas of masculinity, like you know, actually prison rape isn't funny. It's actually a horrible problem. Nothing like that. Yeah, no, obviously men could never see women as actual people. Fuck, I hate her so much.
Democratic witnesses at the hearing, including Kelly Robinson, disputed Gaines's take. Let's take a listen.
Women and some that are shorter. You don't believe that a biological male has a physical advantage in sports over a biological female?
My man, how are you sitting there looking the way you do? And you think you have a biological advantage at sports? Over like a woman who does sports? Okay, yeah, sure, bud.
Not as a definitive statement.
Give me an example. Well, no, I don't think. How many female members of the NBA do you see?
Well, I can say that, you know, there's been this news article about men that think that they could beat Serena Williams in tennis, right? That they think that they could actually score a point on her. And it's just not the case. She is stronger than that.
What's your experience, Ben?
I'd say this guy should jump off a bridge, but I'm pretty sure if he did, his jowls would turn into gliders.
Male, female.
Both Serena and Venus lost to the 203rd ranked male tennis player, which they're phenoms for women. My experience, my husband, he swam at University of Kentucky as well. In terms of accolades and in terms of national ranking, I was a much better swimmer than him. He could kick my butt any day of the week without trying.
Yeah, so
I think Riley Gaines really successfully pushed back on that other guest there who was saying, oh, you know, Serena Williams is, like, again, very talented, but in the realm of competitive sports, when you're at this level of competition, look, we have to be honest that pretty stark biological-based differences emerge.
So here's the problem. The whole point of segregated sports, sex-segregated sports, is segregating on the basis of sex and broadly distributed, lots of variation within groups, obviously, but differences between sexual achievement in sports that are so stark that in order to give women an opportunity to compete, a choice was made to segregate the sports so that women, you know, cis women didn't have to compete against cis men. To the extent that there is an effort to be inclusive and allow trans women to play sports and compete, you are going to have to fundamentally challenge the fundamental
Also, I believe the history here is wrong. The reason we have sex-segregated sports is because women were typically could play against men, and with the advent of women's suffrage and the movement towards feminism, women began participating alongside men in sports, and men really didn't like it if women happened to be beating them or were on a team and they were losing, etc. So, like, it was a complicated mixture of basically the boys' club didn't like girls joining. They wanted to be He-Man woman haters, and they kicked women out of their leagues, and so women made their own leagues. You know? Yeah.
Presumption of why we have sex-segregated sports to begin with, and the purpose of that was feminist, to enable cis women to have an opportunity to even participate in sports. Now, I do think that Riley Gaines could not be more wrong about the definition of feminism, and that in fact it's not fluid. Feminism is so fluid, in fact, that various different kinds of feminism over periods of time are described as waves of feminism.
True.
That's how fluid the thing is.
True.
It's literally described
Good observation.
as a kind of water. Now, this is not a substantive argument. Like, I think that there's a good case to be made that the reason that we have Title IX, and as I've said before, just now, the whole reason of having sex-segregated sports is to give cis women an opportunity to compete. But I do think that her definition of feminism was completely made up, and that feminism is more accurately described as an equality movement, not women fighting against their own metrics or whatever she said, but that we should be treated equally, have the same opportunities as men. Now, I think Title IX in separate women's sports was done to that end, and this is I think a genuinely difficult issue, which is how do you allow trans people to compete in sports and not exclude them on the basis of an antipathy toward trans people, while still maintaining the integrity of whatever that initial goal was, to the extent that you think that initial goal is still valuable.
Right. I think she's invoking feminism and invoking Title IX to dispute that what is the inclusion of trans women, trans athletes in competitive sports is enhancing of feminism. She's making the point, right, that from her perspective it's up against the goals of feminism because it would erase the category of not allow women to compete fairly against just other women when we're bringing in trans women to the category. It seems like the way to solve this is you just need a separate league or team or competition for trans individuals. Or
yeah, we'll pull one together out of the 10 people in all of college athletics. Yeah, we'll get right on that, Bobby.
Or you have them like that at competitive level. If it's at like the little kids, I know you've.
Yeah, there are so many trans people at the competitive level, Robbie. There are what are you gonna do? Have like the two competitive trans women in softball like play like a national league against each other? Jesus. Honestly, like, what makes the most sense is just coming up with different metrics by which to segregate sports, whether it's by weight class or whether it's by, like, athletic prowess or something like that. Like, men might be able to participate in a, like, lighter division or something like that. I don't know. And alongside women, and that would be cool. I know I called him Bobby, but that even though I said it wrong, it still works.
You've raised it, like, does it really matter for the very little kids? No, but at the competitive level of sports, it is about achievement. Like, we keep score.
Yeah, and that's why we should segregate all of the sports by height. If you're too tall, you have to go into the XL basketball division. Yeah, sure. Okay, Robbie, yeah. We don't want to be unfair to all of the 5-foot tall basketball players. So let's just have height differentials in our sports or weight differentials in our sports. Why not? Why does it have to be by sex? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. We tolerate a lot of unfairness in our sports. So why are trans people intolerable here?
Or for a reason, right? People's futures and scholarships and.
Yeah, exactly, Archangel the Cobb. It's not fair to all the short runners that they have to run against all those long-legged people.
And opportunities, comes from that. And if you want to protect that category, and I think most people do, you're going to have to make some accommodation that's not just sticking them on the girls' team.
Yeah, so there have been other areas of life where people have decided that the gender segregation is not, or the sex segregation is no longer valuable, let's say. Mm-hmm. The Boy Scouts, and letting girls in, and those have obviously been controversial as well. There was a big brouhaha in college about whether these male, we call them final clubs, not frats, but like these, whether they're going to gender segregate. And the younger generation seems to be really open to those kinds of things in a way that even I think my cohort at school was not necessarily. There was this idea that something intrinsically in the space was going to be lost. But you know.
But that seems so different.
But
from
this is different because there's something that's rooted.
True.
And the Democratic witness really tried to say like, oh, well, what does it really matter? Some women can compete against men. So, like that is true, but it is an extreme exception.
It's disappointing because I sometimes feel like the Republicans have identified, and we talked to a polling expert, what a losing issue this is for trans advocacy. And at a time when there are literally hundreds of bills that are trying to substantively strip the rights of trans people to make medical decisions on their own, adults included, to make medical decisions on their own, dress the way they want.
Good to know which side of the issue Brianna Joy Gray lands on, I suppose.
Perform in drag, do a classic Shakespeare play. It feels very frustrating for so much of the energy to be taken up on this subject. However, that is always going to continue to be the case as long as you get the kind of anemic defenses that Ms. Kelly Robinson there gave on that panel.
Right. Yeah, I've mentioned before that I used to coach track for middle school when I still lived in Michigan, and it's co-ed up through, the school was co-ed. It was through 8th grade, and then this was Catholic school, and then there's a boys' school and a girls' school. And, up through 6th, 7th, 8th grade, the female and the male athletes are fairly competitive with one another, but then around puberty, there becomes a pretty stark and immediate separation in terms of ability, where it would be ludicrous to have them still compete.
I mean, she cleared the lowest bar of being in favor generally of trans rights. She did not clear the bar of being in favor of trans rights when it comes to sports, though. She didn't really clear the bar when it comes to inclusion of trans people in society. That bar she did not clear.
Competing against
I also think there's some conversation to be had about the role of, how long have you been transitioning? Are your hormone levels within the realm of what a cis woman's?
Oh yeah, Matatahu, Robbie is I'm 95% sure he's a fash.
Would be the Olympics has gone that route and said that basically if you biologically, I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but if kind of physically you're getting to a point where the advantages that would come with having gone through male puberty are stripped from you because of your transition, then the playing fields are leveled again and you're able to compete. And some of these examples of trans women competing against cis women, the advantages are grossly overstated, especially when...
Okay. But are you willing to make the case for that? I haven't seen it yet. It's been over halfway through this video before you even bring this point up.
And they have actually been transitioning for a period of time. And while they might perform better than they did when they were competing against cis men, they are nowhere near the top of where cis women are competitively. Gaines also responded to Senator Josh Hawley's questioning on the, quote, surprise of finding a biological man in her locker room.
You were talking about just the incredible surprise, shall I say, to put it gently, of finding a biological man, a 6'4" biological man in your locker room and having to accept that without being asked about it, without being told about it even. What was that like for you? Tell us about that.
Again, we only became aware we would be undressing next to a man was when we had to see a man undressing while we were simultaneously undressing. And so I immediately left the locker room and I went up to one of the officials on the pool deck and I said, what are the guidelines to allow a man into our locker room? I know the guidelines for the competition, but what are the guidelines for the locker room? And he so nonchalantly said back, oh, we actually got around this by making locker rooms unisex. And so I'm thinking to myself in these brief moments, first and foremost, you just admitted this is a male by acknowledging how you had to change your rules to make the locker rooms unisex. What message does this send to women, to young girls who are denied of the...
Yeah, she's talking about Leah Thomas, who, beat her in a swimming race one time.
These opportunities. So easily their rights to privacy and safety thrown out of the window to protect...
They still have a right to privacy and safety. What are you talking about? What? If it's a unisex changing room. It's a unisex locker room, okay? How does that make you less safe? Unless you think men in a unisex locker room are going to rape you. And why is this at all given credence in the fucking Congress of the United States of America?
A small population
Yeah, like you're the one looking at her fucking dick if she's even changing outside of a changing stall, which, you know what? I think most trans women, they're going to go in the changing stall, okay? I know I would. You're not going to just like drop trow in the middle of the locker room and walk around like they're a fucking 80-year-old dude. What are you talking about?
One group, as long as they're happy. What about us?
I don't think it's a
what about you? The poor people suffering in the unisex changing room. Oh no, the horror.
Safety issue, and I think that she knows it's not a safety issue. There are
a comfort issue.
Sure, but she made it into a safety issue, which I think is a really bad faith argument, and is why so many people are saying that she is not someone who's genuinely interested in the competitive aspect of it, but that this is rooted in bigotry. And I think that she would make a better case for herself if she stopped making that kind of an argument. Now, the comfort issue, you know, it's perfectly legitimate. If you don't want to change in front of all kinds of people, you don't have to change in front of all kinds of people. I don't like changing in front of everybody. I was one of those kids who was changing in the stall in middle school and high school, and that's what it was. And it had nothing to do with the gender of the people that I was changing around.
But I don't think it's... Well, go ahead.
I think a lot of workplaces, et cetera, have moved to gender neutral kind of Ally McBeal style bathrooms. People have mixed feelings about it. I don't know, and I think that that's a completely separate issue. And if they want to have separate bathrooms,
literally every home in America has unisex bathrooms. This argument that like, oh, people are feeling like mixed about it. No, they're not. No, they're only feeling mixed about it if they're fucking bigots. That's it. That's the only circumstance in which someone is terrified of the concept of a unisex bathroom. Like, have you ever heard, chat, here's an example. Have any of you ever heard anyone complain about a porta potty being unisex? Have you ever heard anyone be like, "Ah, man, I wish these porta potties were for men and ladies cuz they make me feel safer that way." No, you haven't. What you've heard people complain about is the fact that porta potties are nasty as hell. But that is irrelevant to the fact that they are also unisex. No one's out there being like, yeah, we need male porta potties and female porta potties. No, we all just come together and agree they're fucking nasty and do our business in them and then go our separate ways. It's fine.
Where cis women can change without trans women being around, or just have more individualized privacy options for everybody who's competing in these spaces, or make the whole thing co-ed. If that gets around the problem and all of those kind of divisions are regressive anyway, then I think a lot of those issues can be worked out. But that seems to be a separate issue. From
I agree, it's a separate issue, and I don't really think it's about safety. But I don't think it's bigotry to be uncomfortable if you're Riley Gaines changing.
Look, I agree it's not a safety issue, and but I don't think it's bigoted to be uncomfortable. I don't know. I think like if there's a white person who's like uncomfortable because like a black person walks in the room, I think that's a pretty good indicator of like there being some internalized bigotry there. You know, I think it'd be fair to say if someone was like, I'm just really uncomfortable when black people come in the room. Yeah, I think there's some bigotry at play here. Yeah. And I think it's fair in this case, too.
In front of someone like Leah Thomas.
I do think it's bigotry to, Elon Musk said it's a slur to call people cis on the internet yesterday.
Well, that was kind of silly.
I think it's also bigotry. If we're going to live in that world, then it most certainly is bigotry to intentionally misgender somebody the way that Gaines repeatedly did in this clip. I'm respecting Gaines's pronouns. I'm not saying this dude, Gaines, is, testifying at said hearing. She knows how that's going to be received, and that feels like a dog whistle, and I think it really diminishes her credibility when I think there are really difficult questions to be answered about how to handle the biological advantages that trans women and cis men have.
They are
in
difficult
sports.
questions, and I would also be for just greater privacy in locker rooms, especially at the K through 12 level.
Individual stalls for everybody. Aesop products in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a real simple solution. Unisex changing rooms, everyone gets a stall. It's not difficult.
What Aesop products?
They're just fancy soaps.
Fancy soaps.
It'll make everybody happy.
I use the Aussie shampoo and conditioner.
Ooh.
Is that a good one?
We need to talk about that
It's not a
because
good idea.
they leave a residue. They feel good, and it's like a good conditioner for the short term, but it's not good for the long-term health of your hair. Allegedly, don't sue us, Aussie.
All right. Well, Thomas told Good Morning America last May that trans women are not a threat to women's sports. Trans people don't transition for athletics. We transition to be happy and authentic and our true selves. We'll have more Rising right after this.
Okay. Brianna Joy Gray wasn't as bad as I thought she was going to be, so that's good. Definitely gave a way too much credence to the anti-trans end of that agreement, but yeah. What the fuck is Aussie shampoo? It's just like a shampoo that has like a kangaroo on it, I think. Probably silicone? Probably, yeah. Yeah, convenient to have the very salient point as a bumper. Yeah. Folks, we've been going for 3 hours now. If you've been enjoying the show, consider coming on over to riverboat.gg, where you can be in the on-screen chat. Or you can use !site in the YouTube or Twitch chats to get a link to come on over, if you are too lazy to type in the actual URL. You can be in the on-screen chat. You get a fancy new username. You get emotes. You get to be friends with a bunch of cool peeps, and you also get us closer to watching Star Trek. I'm multitasking, listening to you while playing Tears of the Kingdom. Hell yeah! And folks, if you are enjoying the show, please remember, hit the like button on the YouTube stream, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, hit the follow button over on the Twitch, and consider dropping some subs or donos, particularly over at riverboat.gg, where I get to keep 100% of the money you send my way instead of splitting it 50-50 with Twitch or 70-30 with YouTube. Consider coming on over here. If I see a few white names, I'll dono 5 subs, so come on over. Hell yeah. My username is already fancy. True Objectively a Cat. Come on over, newbies. Oh, for some reason the Nightbot link doesn't work in the chat here. Hey, there you go. Oh wait, maybe it needs to be HTTPS. There you go. Think? Yes, that worked. Zoop! Hello. Jack feeds on your money and she is starving. True! I literally cannot live without your precious, precious dollary dues. So consider throwing them my way, chat, because I would really like to be able to pay my rent. Oh, your sub ran out? Yee. Ripperino. Ripperino! Aw.
Got one. Bawahahaha. 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 BWA.
Paladin, thank you for gifting a sub to Objectively a Cat. Let's go! We got 7 subs. We need 18 more subs, chat, in order to watch Star Trek. I think we can do it. I think we could do it. Wish we'd change our currency name to the dollary do. That'd be pretty nice. Aw. Yeah, Paladin Lost is a real homie. I was gonna get Chinese today, but I forgot it was Monday and they're closed on Monday. No! Yeah, Yeah, Metal Kitty Mom. We got all the cool cats in the yard. BWA makes me smile every time. Me too. It's a really good meme for our community. Said I was after white names. Pleasant was an excuse to BWA. True. All right. You know what? We're going to continue this. I'm going to cut a video I was going to show because it would probably just make me sad. But here we go. So, folks, there's this guy. You may have heard of him. His name is Lance Armstrong. Now, Lance Armstrong is known for being a guy with one testicle and for riding bicycles real good and for cheating for decades while racing bicycles real good. So there's a lot to unpack here, but really the important thing is that Lance Armstrong is starting a new podcast, because of course he is, and, well, someone died and made him the expert on trans people in sports. So let's check out the trailer for his new podcast.
All right, so here we are on the PCH, headed out to Caitlyn Jenner's house to have a conversation in and around trans and sport. I think, since...
Okay, real talk, if you're cutting a podcast or you're doing like a thing about trans people in sports, you should kind of prep yourself to know that you don't call... Yeah, we're here to talk about trans in sports. Trans in sport. What are you talking about? You can't even say it right. What business do you have, like, actually talking about the topic?
Sensitive conversations and topics like this, people tend to either... it really comes down to they're really afraid to be fired, shamed, or canceled. Turns out I'm not that afraid of that. I think this is an important conversation.
Yeah, you're not that afraid of that because you think you were canceled, buddy? You think people canceled you? You got kicked out of, like, and stripped of all of your like achievements because you had been cheating for years. And not only did this guy cheat for years, he insisted on making all of his teammates cheat. Because in some of these bicycle races, it's like a relay type thing. So he insisted his other teammates dope, or else they got kicked off the team. He made other people do crimes in order to make himself look good. Yeah, he's a massive, massive piece of shit.
And, especially I think it can be handled in this way, and I also think the best way to have these conversations and get to a more... to get to a smarter conclusion or even have a smarter conversation is just to go in fearless.
He hasn't said anything here.
And
hey, Jay Xander.
Fearless on this one.
You're fine over there. Okay, so the chair
Yeah. No way. I'll get the good lighting.
Ready? There we go. Roll it.
Christ, dude. Gator, congrats on getting a really cheap car. Why is he acting like talking to Caitlyn Jenner about this is walking to the lion's den? Yeah, literally Caitlyn Jenner's entire timeline is talking about how she hates trans people. God damn, dude. Have we really come to a time and place where spirited debate is not only frowned upon, but feared? Where people's greatest concern is being fired, shamed, or cancelled? As someone all too familiar with this phenomenon, I feel I'm uniquely positioned to have these conversations. Again, not canceled. You coerced other people into doing crimes to make yourself look good, and you also did crimes for literally like a decade. I love that the community notes even are like, Lance Armstrong was not canceled. He was the most dominant and successful professional cyclist in history until 2013 when he was found to have been doping and was stripped of his titles and awards. Armstrong himself later admitted to cheating for over a decade. Dude. Dude. Why? Like, how could you possibly frame this, dude? Isn't Lance canceled? Yeah. Oh, he tried to bribe a USDA official too? Yeah, doing crimes now and being punished for them is being canceled. Goddamn. Also, Armor and Quills, thank you for jumping over to the riverboat.gg site. And Jay Xander, post all the emotes you want. Your right to emote shall not be infringed. Of all the controversial and polarizing subjects out there today, I'm not sure there is any as heated as the topic of trans athletes in sports. For some reason, he capitalizes trans. Is there not a world in which one can be supportive of the transgender community and curious about the fairness of trans athletes in sport, yet not be labeled a transphobe or a bigot as we ask questions? Do we yet know the answers? And do we even want to know the answers? Well, the answer is no. You don't want to know the answers. And I know that because there are already studies about this around which international sporting leagues built their regulations. And it seems pretty clear that it is somewhere between 1 year and 2 years on hormone replacement therapy that largely shifts your biology enough to compete in a different division like this. Yeah, he's so concerned about the fairness of sport.
One more sub to Star Trek.
Oh, Sophie, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Jay Xander. That's really kind of you. Thank you. One more sub to Star Trek. True, we are now 17 subs away from Star Trek, Episode 1 of Season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Let's go. Is there not... Oh, wait. All right. I do. Hence these conversations. A special series of The Forward beginning Monday, where I dive into this issue with an open mind in an attempt to learn as much as possible from all sides of the debate. I truly hope you enjoy this series, and I hope that for those who've been reluctant to have this conversation, this somehow feels safe. Be fearless. Do 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 do. And did I mention that it's not just a trailer that's out? It's the whole goddamn thing.
Fearless. And I'm sort of fearless on this one.
You're fine over there. Okay. Sure, the chair there. Yeah.
Oh wait, I'll get the good lighting. From... Ready? There we go. Rolling.
Caitlin, thank you.
Lance Armstrong, it is an absolute honor to have you here in my home.
It's a well.
I have been.
Why? Why the fuck would it be an honor? He doped for over a decade.
Goes without saying, it's a beautiful place.
Big supporter of you. I've watched you throughout your career. After I got done with all that Olympic stuff, I got into biking just because I didn't want to run anymore.
Right.
I'd run my.
I didn't want to run anymore. Didn't want to drive anymore after the incident.
Myself out, and
it is very rich to me for Caitlyn Jenner to come on to defend the sanctity of fairness in sports by discriminating against trans people. And she's doing it with a guy who literally cheated at sports for over a decade.
Followed your career, the ups and the downs, the tough parts, the good parts of everything. And I think this should be a wonderful interview because you know what? You are a world champion. And it is very well documented that because of testicular cancer, you lost one of your testicles. Well, I'm a world champion and I lost both of my testicles. So anyway, Lance, there we go.
And what a way to start.
We're in good hands together, so let's get down to it.
And it's,
Okay, I don't know, man. Not a good driver, is she? Well, no. She killed the guy.
It's interesting because folks, a lot of, guys especially like to say, this is, this is going to take balls. Who's got the balls to do that? And, I always get a little sensitive.
Yeah.
I say, whoa, hang on.
It
might take some ball to do this, but
yeah.
So I'm glad.
Yeah, you can. You know what? In a situation like you just got to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, too many people I think take life so seriously, and on and on and on. And especially in my life today, so many people around me take life so seriously. You got to do this. No, I'm a common sense person. I want to enjoy life, and I just want to live my life. That's all.
What I love, I find these things that just I sort of stumble across, become fascinated with this issue of primarily trans in sport.
Right.
Has gotten to be such a serious, controversial, polarizing, call it whatever you want, conversation. Just give you a little backstory and a little personal story. So we have an employee who we hired 3 years ago, who told us 6 months ago that and important. I'll be candid. I mean, it's our pilot who flies not just myself around, but the family around. So obviously somebody you really dearly trust.
Yeah, it's so relatable, Lance. Anyway,
as you know, as an aviator.
Yeah.
And about 6 months ago, informed us that they're transgender and going to start this process of transitioning. And, it's one of these things, you didn't see it coming, married, just didn't see it coming. And I was candid, frankly, I was sort of ashamed of my initial reaction, just because you thought, wow, I don't know if it was surprise and my wife was, really stayed on me. She's like, I want you to really walk through this journey with them. And so I did. And it doesn't change, and I'll leave their name out just for their own privacy and protection, but the fact that Jane is flying an airplane or flying your kids around or your family around versus Joe, it doesn't matter, right? So I've really, and as I lived with it and thought about it, it's really become.
So his family's pilot came out to him as trans. And he was definitely not chill about it. Because he felt ashamed by his reaction. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
sort of a love story for me. And I know that sounds a little hokey, but it really has. And then as I spend time with that story and evolve on that story, then we have now, which is so topical, and you're reading about it almost daily, this issue of trans in sport.
It's daily.
It really is daily, and it's touched my sport of cycling. I grew up, my first love for sports was swimming. And of course, we know the example of Leah Thomas and the controversy around that. And it's when I sat back, I said, okay, look, I think I have a position here. I think I know what I would just blurt out. But let me first start to have some conversations around this and what, from all sides, right? Whether it's yourself or scientists or
just the most relatable working class story here of accepting your family's pilot as transgender.
Sports ethicists or philosophers, or even from the trans community, and really start to understand: is there nuance here, or is this highly politicized, or as I started to watch a lot of your interviews and your positions on this, obviously you've made yourself very clear. It's a very, very complicated issue, and sometimes hard to separate the trans community from trans in sport, to politics, to how this is all evolving. But let's first start with the sports issue, and obviously.
Well, on that side, I've been very clear from the beginning.
Asterisk Kyryu 216 asterisk gifted asterisk 5 tier 1 asterisk subscriptions.
Kyryu, thank you very much for gifting 5 subs. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so goddamn much. We are in the double digits now, chat. We're only 12 subs away from Star Trek. Let's go.
Right.
Thank you.
I am all about fairness.
Are you? Because you're talking to Lance fucking Armstrong. Are you all about fairness? Because you're literally talking to one of the most prolific cheaters in sports history.
Not equity. And sports has to be fair. I want to protect women. I want to protect women's spaces in sports. It puts women in a very uncomfortable
right,
position.
Gamer G?
Not only
Gamer G, if you go to bed now before the interview is over, you're just gonna dream about Lance Armstrong more.
They're on the athletic field, but all the other things that go around, locker rooms,
Good night, Gamer G.
this, that, showers, all that kind of stuff. How far the person is in their transition, and the list goes on and on and on. So my position from the beginning is just look at this point. If you give an inch, they're going to take a mile. Okay.
Also, keep in mind, Caitlyn Jenner has participated in women's tournaments. Caitlyn Jenner has, as a trans woman, has played women's sports. The hypocrisy of this is just overwhelming for me. She's played in women's golfing tournaments. Yeah, no. Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, I just remembered this. Yeah. Here we go. Caitlyn Jenner to compete in women's golf tournament in 2016. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Freelance journalist Caitlin Burns. Transcribe on Twitter. Go follow her if you want to. She's good. She's good egg.
Like you say, you started off in swimming, the Leah Thomas case. I never said anything bad about Leah.
Oh, and just in case anyone wants to say, like, oh, she didn't actually compete in it, here's a picture of her teeing off on the 5th hole during the Pro-Am, the women's golf tournament that she was slated to compete in that story. As a preview for the 2016 ANA Inspiration Championship at the Mission Hills Country Club. Country? What's wrong with me? Country Club. Really putting the cunt in country. On March 30th, 2016 in Rancho Mirage, California. So, yeah. No, she's played in women's sporting events.
Thomas. I mean, she's playing within the rules. My position was about the NCAA and the rules.
Right.
That, you know, in the old days, in the Olympic movement, this has been an issue that's been around for a long, long time. Started in the 60s. I don't know, you're so young, may not remember this, but they had this.
I also just realized she's wearing a tiny necklace that says Caitlin.
Quite then yet. I'm old, but I'm not.
Yeah, they had the East German women, okay, the Soviet women that were just cleaning up in the late 60s and through the 70s. That in the 60s, they started DNA testing them, okay, that you had to be the right chromosomes,
right?
Okay, because honestly, I'd look at them and I would go, oh my God, are you sure that it's supposed to be in the women's division?
Right.
I mean, I had my last lifting workout in the gym in the village. This East German discus thrower girl came in. She outlifted me. I mean, she was so much stronger than I was. And I'm thinking, man, I got to get out of this gym. The chicks are outlifting me. I got to go win the games in 5 days, you know? And so they started DNA testing way back then. And so you have these issues that...
Yeah, I wonder why a discus thrower would outlift a runner. I wonder... Chad, I can't imagine how a discus runner would, or a discus thrower would outlift a runner. I can't wrap my head around it. How could that be?
That do come up, and I just think the best thing, because if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. That it's just say no, okay, no trans women in women's sports. And I think you have to go that far because it's not fair. It's just not fair. And that it comes over and over and over again. And in the case of Leah Thomas and swimming, we won that battle. I mean, I did a lot of media on it. We won that battle. The international organization that controls the rules in swimming basically banned her from being in world-class competition. Because they said that you have to have had transitioned before the age of 12, meaning puberty is going through puberty, male puberty is bigger than what 5 years down the line, what your testosterone levels are. Okay.
Jay.
And in the case of Leah Thomas, you know, she's like, you know, well over 6 feet, big hands, big cardiovascular, big.
Being big doesn't mean you have a lot of testosterone in your body. There are big people who have plenty of estrogen in their bodies. Like, I mean, for goodness sake, guys, like, here, is this, yeah. Oh, I can't make that image big. Damn it. Damn it. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh no, look. Too much testosterone in that testosterone-less person who's 6'8". God damn. Oh no. Shaking booty, too much testosterone. Oh, too tall. Clearly too much testosterone. No, they're just tall ladies.
Big feet. I mean, just strong left. I haven't had any testosterone in, God, 10 years, and I can still.
God, look at all of the testosterone in this lady. Just, oh man, big feet, big hands. Oh, clearly too much testosterone in that one. Shouldn't be allowed to play any sports. Definitely not basketball, or volleyball, or swimming. Too tall.
I hit the golf ball, 280, 290 yards, you know. Damn. I still have long arms. I can still, hit it. It's, I grew up.
You're right, Caitlin. We should ban all tall women from sports. Only short women can play sports now. Excellent point.
The guy. So, and then international track and field, Sebastian Coe came through. He basically said the same thing.
Exactly,
that
lesbian
no trans
croissant.
athletes at the world-class level.
The British Cycling Federation just probably 10 days ago said the same.
Yeah. And I think that's
they're it's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
These are sort of country by country, sport by sport.
Yeah.
They're look, at the end of the day, you have the IOC, the USOC, you have these massive governing bodies that govern entire sports or entire global sport. And they've yet to make a decision or make a ruling.
Also, hey, Phoenix Dragon, haven't seen
every organization has to make up their own rule.
Right, but
I'm hopefully
they should dedicate their lives to treading on my throat. Damn, Amy, damn.
And Sebastian Coe said it. That he said what I just said about I'm on fairness, not equity. And I think that's so true. We have to go on what's fair for women's sports, women's sports to survive.
So the natural thing, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people, is to say, hey, okay, yes, we agree with that, but we also agree that we support this community. So think about the Olympic Games, right? You have the Olympic Games, you have the Special Olympics, you have the Paralympics. Mm-hmm. The logigical mind.
They had the Gay Olympics for a long time.
Might go to a place that says, listen, this is a thing. This is in society, and nobody.
You're right. Look. Clearly, look at the unfair advantage here. Okay, too much testosterone on the right. All right. Estrogen on the left, testosterone on the right, estrogen on the left. A totally unfair advantage. Agreed. Tall women, no sports.
Should be told you cannot compete, you cannot pursue your passion. So hey, why wouldn't? And I'm just theorizing or speculating. Why wouldn't we just have? That's what folks would say, but then you hear from the other side that the numbers are so incredibly small.
You couldn't get enough people.
You couldn't fill the podium. You couldn't have a delegation from a country, and who knows how the trend is going. My suspicion is we are going to see more of this.
Here's one I heard from Alaska the other day. They were looking on
lesbian croissant.
Basically, no eligibility for trans athletes. And in women's sports. And so what they were trying to do in their league, they were trying to have an all-gender league because you don't have enough trans people to even think about a league. You probably, in the state of Alaska, you probably don't have enough to make a...
Jack, stop making chat horny. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. Am I making you horny? Am I, with my massive heaving tits and amazing cleavage, making you all horny? No. Being horny is a personal choice, okay? Being horny is a choice, chat. You all are currently making choices, and I hope that they're the right ones.
A relay team.
Exactly.
That's 4
to donate to riverboat.gg.
people.
Right.
You know, you don't have enough.
Right.
Not only 4 people that are trans, but 4 people that want to go play sports.
Right.
You know, so why not have like an all gender league?
Right.
And I thought, you know what, that's really a good idea. Let's have, you know, during, you know, the fall season soccer, you know, they have anybody, whatever your gender is, this, that, you know, whatever your skill level is, come on out. We just want.
You are describing intramural sports, Caitlin. Those are things that exist already everywhere. We're not talking about intramural sports. We're talking about sport competitions.
Want to play, everybody go out on the field, have a wonderful time.
Right.
You know, during the winter, it's basketball. And so they got a little basketball league in their league.
True 10-letter name.
Anybody can play. We don't
Making
care.
progress.
You know, trans, this, that. And you can work those things out, you know. But we always have to say on the side of fairness and protecting women's sports. Or you won't, honestly, you won't have women's sports in 10, 20 years from now.
Listen.
You won't have women's sports in 10 or 20 years because trans women will be in those sports. And Caitlin, what do you think about trans women again? Are they women? Are you a woman? Are you a woman? I mean, I think Caitlin would say yes. So, you would still have women's sports, wouldn't you? Strange. Curious. Head bob.
Not just the amount of trans
Woman?
people that are there, but you got to have like one trans girl or, you know, on your basketball team or you're not going to win.
Yeah.
That's totally wrong. Totally wrong. I don't want it to see it come to that.
And I think folks also
Man, it's so interesting how they just say things without citing any kind of like data at all. Yes, trans women are just so overwhelmingly powerful that you need one trans girl on your basketball team or you aren't going to win. Yeah.
even take it a layer deeper because, you know, look, we're talking about the Olympic Games. We're talking about professional sports.
Elite stuff.
We're talking about elite sport. You know, then there's, and I think I even fit in this camp. Then there's the 8-year-old soccer league where, you know, Jane wants to play with Joe or Joe wants to, you know, and you know, pre-pubescent. So we're not, you know, certainly not competing for gold medals or prize money or, you know, magazine covers. You're, you know, just the kids out playing soccer. That, you know, this is, you know, when I think about this issue, which I think a lot about it these days, you know, on the professional side and the elite side.
You can't stop thinking about trans people, huh? Can't stop thinking about trans women, huh, Lance? Curious.
I really struggle. You know, if my kids, I've got 5 kids, but if this was a thing, I don't struggle with that. Now, I don't know if that then, to your point, give them an inch, take a mile, but it's certainly different.
Yeah, no, it's opening the door. Here's my issue with all of this, okay? I've been around a long time.
72 years.
73. Yes.
73.
73 years. I've been around a long time. When I was growing up, I was gender dysphoric. I was also dyslexic, so I didn't really do well in school. To me, school was always very frustrating. And
the gender dysphoria started as early as what? At least
it's my whole life.
Yeah,
I was a little kid.
Very early.
Yeah,
going into
you're
mom's
kind of born
closet.
that way.
Right.
You know, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
I'm left-handed. Why are you right-handed and me left-handed? I don't know. It's just kind of who we are. And you're that way your whole life. Being gender dysphoric, if you're truly gender dysphoric, you know, but I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and there wasn't even a word for being gender dysphoric. You just kept your mouth shut. And I went and played sports. Right. And because of how I was.
Is she actually idolizing this period of history? oh, the transes these days, they're just so busy complaining about how much inner turmoil they have. When I had inner turmoil, I just went and played the fucking game, and it didn't wreck my life. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure, hun.
I took sports seriously.
The best thing about back in the day was that if I told anybody about these feelings, they'd beat me to death. It was a good time.
And
clearly.
But yeah, but nobody was around. And I watched the issue. Back in the 80s, I struggled big time. I lived in a house right over here for 6 years, barely came out. I was on hormones.
Due to the gender dysphoria.
Yes.
This was, okay.
Yes. And due to that, I was on hormones. I thought I was going to transition before I was 40. And I got to 39, sitting in this house for 6 years, just going out to go to work. I wasn't a good parent. I did have some kids, but I wasn't a good parent. I was struggling in my life. Really struggling every day. And what am I going to do? And I got to 39, couldn't do it. As I think of it back on it, it just wasn't time for me. Especially at that time, the trans issue was not out there, okay? It would have come really out of left field. And then, I wound up meeting Chris. We were together for 23 years. We raised great kids, had a great family, successful show. Things went really, really well. And then boom, there I was back out in Malibu, and all by myself, and nicer house.
It was a good ride.
Yeah, nicer house, but I'm all by myself. What the hell am I going to do with my life? And people had gone before me. The issue was a little bit more out in front. People had gone before me. They knew about it. And I started thinking, I first had to talk to all my kids. They knew, but they keep, it's like the little secret in the family nobody talks about. And I got to talk to my kids. And so I brought them one-on-one because I got 10 of them. I didn't want them to gang up on me.
She has 10 kids?
Sat down with each one of them.
Holy shit,
First one,
dude.
Brandon. I used him first. He's my musician, my singer, and all that kind of stuff. I thought, anyway, he goes, he said, "Hey, Dad, I've been proud that you're my father my entire life, And I says, "But I've never been more proud of you than I am right now." Oh, whoa, that was kind of a good start. And then the last question was, anytime a person is challenged in their life with something that's in their head, they can't get rid of it. And if they have any faith in their soul whatsoever, they ask God, why? Why are these thoughts in my head all the time? My entire life, I can't get rid of them. They're there. What am I going to do about it? And
I wonder if Caitlyn Jenner ever sits back and thinks to herself, man, running was really a core component of my identity. And if I was trans today and transitioning as a young person, what would it do to me if I was denied the ability to run competitively? There's a complete lack of introspection here that honestly baffles me a bit. I don't get it, right?
So my final conversation, I was walking in a field all by myself, saying, God, is there a reason for this? Am I doing the right thing? So when I walk up the pearly gates and I go through the gates and he's there and he says, yeah, you did a good job. Come on in, And so I made the decision that, okay, if I do this, and then it was trying to figure out, how do I do it? How do I do it in a respectful way for not only me, but for trans people in general? And anyway, so I had my PR guy that I had known for years and years and years, hadn't used him in 25 years. And we sat down and figured out how we can do it. Now we come to today, because everybody knows that story. Now we
Can
come
I
to
ask you
today.
a question about those days? So
Yes.
Going back to that, because you won the gold medal in Montreal in 1976.
It was a good one.
It was and it was
Broke the
amazing.
world record too that day.
I watched.
Yes.
I watched, and I was
Yes,
telling you, I
broke the
watched
world
the
record.
Untold. I thought, and
First
it was,
guy over 8,600
Thanks,
points.
Kyrie.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a
so,
good day.
and I want to just briefly go back to this idea of how this touches
Oh, Dr.
sports.
Robotnik, glad you can stick around.
And I had to just so you know, I had to sort of get educated on this as well. So the women don't compete in the.
I had to educate myself too
Well, I'm
on it
talking
because
about
there was no book out there
right,
saying,
no-
"Oh, how are we going to do this?"
No manual. But in terms of the decathlon, right? So the women don't compete in the decathlon; they compete in the heptathlon.
Correct.
And which is what, 7 events versus 10.
Right.
So you win the gold medal in the decathlon in 1976. You're living in this house here in Malibu, isolated, having these really struggling in the early 80s. The first time the women competed for a gold medal in the heptathlon was 1984. What do you think, as Bruce Jenner in 1976, that becomes Caitlyn Jenner, and let's call it the early 80s? Then let's imagine all this happened.
I would destroy those women.
I knew you were going to say.
I would have destroyed those women. But nowadays, being a trans lady, it's fine for me to participate in women's sports, but not okay for all of you young trans people.
Destroy them. It wouldn't be fair. I would never do it. I get asked
Malachi, it's
in
insane.
my club.
It's wild.
To play like the women's tournament. I'm friends with. Actually, the women are a lot more fun to play with. Okay, the conversation's much better. I can outdrive them by 100 yards. They love that. They just think it's great. Oh, come on, could you play with me in this women's tournament?
They want you on their scramble.
And I say, absolutely no.
Right.
I couldn't do that. I wouldn't feel good about myself if I took like a little dinky trophy away from one of the other ladies,
So
I don't
so
even
then
go
what does that, and this is something you hear a lot, and look, I want to be really honest, and I'm very sensitive to this. I also know, and I should add and state for the record that, there will be people that says, far be it from you, Lance.
What the hell? You good? Are we just having like a weird
Armstrong,
hiccup?
to have this, what are we talking about? We are talking about fairness, right? So if the world.
Okay.
World thinks about me